Yeah, we're started. It
Oh,
started. I
sweet.
could put like a I could put our somebody might want to double check that. I could hide us, and this could be
Well,
like intro credits,
Intro credits.
and then we're back. It's great.
In a time long ago in the early 80s.
When beats were
okay.
minimal.
This this place that I'm staying at, I would really prefer them to like have the AC on.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
That was the same complaint as last week.
I know, it's like, well, it's actually on right
There
now.
we go.
But
Okay.
it does this thing where like it's central air, but you know, they turn it off at all times except for the middle of the day. The thing is, it's hot all the time.
Do you have windows?
I do have a window. And I've got a little fan thing too.
Yeah, is that one of the dual fans?
Yeah. Or no, it's like a whoop 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 fan.
A whoop 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 fan.
Yeah, whoop 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 like that, like the Queen's fan. You know? I'm hilarious. Right. So we're on. Yeah, we are. We are on. Great.
Yep.
It's great.
I can't
Unfortunately,
monitor it. I
I
have
don't
not
think
enough internet.
I don't think that I can change the thingamajig, the title of it, which is not
What
a
is the
huge deal.
title?
I can just session 2 instead of session 1.
Oh,
Gotcha.
Because you know when it pops up, people are like,
Well,
"What
I
the
mean,
fuck?"
it still says finale as this corrects home on mine.
Oh yeah, that's because it's the last thing that I changed it to. I changed the other shit. Yeah, so I can't change that. Wait,
How
can
do
I?
you-
Edit stream info. Holy shit, I think I can. Hold on a second.
yeah, good.
What is today? 17th.
Yeah.
July 17th.
Yeah.
1982.
Number 2. The red Writ. Boom. And we'll edit shit later. Great. So that's there. That everyone cares
Okay.
about.
It has changed on my screen, so.
Great. Good. Awesome. Where the fuck am I? What is my name? So, hello everyone. This is DreadLore. We're playing the DreadLore system, which is a system that I created with the help of a lot of different players and such. It's a very story-centric system. It's a storytelling tabletop role-playing game. There are links to the hardback and the drive-through RPG and all that stuff, and there's a bunch of materials. Enough said. We're playing the Red Writ, which is essentially a Call of Cthulhu, Old World of Darkness inspired game. And these are the victims, players, before you. You guys want to introduce yourselves? And your character? We'll start with Andrew.
All right. I'm Andrea Elliott Johnson. My character's name is Leah Mizrahi. She is a former IDF soldier, as pretty much everybody from Israel is at one point or another in their lives. She left the military to be a mom, and after some political stuff, left Israel to move to Detroit of all places. But yeah, so that's where we're at right now. She's had some weird experiences last session, so that was fun.
Keep on going, all of you. Just when someone drops off, just the next person pick up.
I'll go. My name is Ken. I'm playing a guy named Nord who is a weirdo drug addict, and he is a journalist as well who loves to just do drugs and discover weird stuff.
Okay. My character's name is Tony Czerniak. He is a former priest, now border guard at the Detroit Tunnel. Kind of into the occult. Will probably at some point be into drugs. And occasionally likes giving Canadians a hard time. Who lives in the same building as the next character.
Yes, me. I'm the Drizzle. My character's Simon Vincent. He is a hard-boiled private investigator. Used to be a cop until bad things happened. Stuck it out till he could get early retirement and has been a PI for 5 years now.
And Andrea, would you like to describe Leah's daughter?
Oh, yeah. Fuck.
It's your fault.
I know. Do you want me to, did you have a particular description for it, or do you want me to make it up?
Make it up?
All right.
I mean,
let's say,
I have a description, but I want to see what yours is.
Okay. Ooh, I kind of definitely see her as I mean, she's 10 years old, or roughly 10 years old. I haven't exactly given her a birthday anyway, but and she has sort of chestnut hair, not really like really dark, but not definitely not blonde either. I'm gonna guess, well, just based on how it went last session, she's kind of definitely very headstrong, for better or worse. And
She's a bitch. That's how I'm playing her anyway.
But and so her dad actually, the funny thing was because I had this idea of the dad works during the day or comes home late at night, so it's like I guess he's gonna come home to find a dead body, which ought to be interesting. But what could go wrong, right?
So you have a husband too? Okay.
Yes.
More
Yeah.
NPCs. Good.
Sorry.
What's his name?
Ooh.
If you're gonna have NPCs come out of your ass, then you better have a name for them.
No, fair. We'll say fuck it. Let's go with Marcus. Why not? Let's just cause.
Wow. So you got Leah Mizrahi, Mariah Mizrahi, Marcus Mizrahi.
Yes. Oh fuck. Yeah, that's a good point. Fuck.
All right.
All right.
The dad. Okay.
What about
right.
Miss Mizrahi?
What now?
What about Miss Mizrahi?
No.
Okay.
All right. So, these are notable NPCs, which means you guys have one bid for them. They're going to do whatever they do. But the idea of a notable versus a narrative NPC, I told you last game. Does anyone need me to repeat it? What's up, Little Gotham?
Hey.
Okay, no one does. Great. So, last game. Found yourselves in Detroit, 1982. There's some Detroit EDM going on. Most of you live in the more run-down areas of Detroit, which are not few and far between in the early 80s. We have some maps and stuff. Has everyone gotten a chance to see the map that Holker made?
Not yet.
Okay.
Admittedly.
And for these big yes or no questions, if you want, you can do thumbs up or thumbs down or yes or no. Just tell me one. That way I'm not like waiting. Okay. At any rate, there is a map. Hulker, were you able to screen capture the map and post it?
I posted
You posted a link to the
I
file.
posted a link to it. If that doesn't work, let me know, and we'll figure out another way to get the information out there.
Okay.
I have the map on a computer, and if you just tell me where to go, I can, dial it in. I
Should
pulled
be-
the Google Earth. If you could see the Twitch, you would
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. It's in the here. I'll send it to you via Twitch, or not Twitch. I'll send it to you via the thingamajig Discord. That is the link. Okay.
I'll shoot it.
Oh yeah, there it is. Nice. Right. So most of these characters are in the Jefferson corridor, although not all of them are. Currently, you guys are at the Fancy, which is a diner. It's a greasy spoon, not so much fancy, but it is called the Fancy. And so I'm pulling up all the bullshit. Where is the fucking map? I don't know. This remote shit is hard.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Tough.
Right. So the Fancy is a little bit to the north of the Jefferson corridor, which is the big yellow long thing. That's the Jefferson corridor. And that's all you guys really need to know. Last game, motherfucker, just go to the thing. Last game, we introduced all of you and your various apartments and such, and some pretty wild shit went down. Specifically for Leah and her daughter, they were visited by one of Leah's old comrades in arms, a guy named Clois. He was badly wounded. He was drenched in sweat, and while she didn't do a ton of investigation, it looked like he'd been rained on. And he died. She attempted to save him, but he died in her kitchen, blood pooling everywhere. In his hand, his clenched fist, was this parchment that had all these weird hieroglyphic-looking emblems on it. This unknown language. And then weird shit started happening. Her daughter ran out. She went after her. They got onto a bus, and the red Writ appeared everywhere. A big flash, and the bus was gone. They were just standing in the middle of the road. And eventually, they made their way to the Fancy. As it is, Simon Vincent, who's a PI, and his neighbor, Tony Cerniak, aided a different neighbor who was screaming. I believe her name is Rebecca Foster, and we determined that she is a whore! Huh? Which is fun in Detroit in the early 80s. The oldest profession. They calm her down. She says that the television was talking to her. Simon Vincent had had a similar situation, but he had chalked it up to a trick of the eye, perhaps.
Drunk.
Yeah, and being drunk. The two of them found a weird figurine in Rebecca's couch. It's about palm-sized, and it's of a chimera type person. So the bottom half is a dragon type character, and the top half is a woman with seaweedy looking hair, all serpentine. They decided to stay with Rebecca through the night, but I can't remember how. Simon, you got called.
Yeah, Hulker. I wasn't
by
with
Idaway,
Hulker
right?
when he. Yeah, I wasn't with Hulker when he found the statue.
Oh,
I
see,
got
right.
I got the call and I told him I was
Yeah.
leaving, And
I
then I
see, I see.
left, and he sat down on the couch and found the statue.
I see, right on. So Tony found the figurine.
In the couch.
Simon, yeah, Simon got called away by Detective Idaway. His name is Duck Hideaway. Get it? No? Okay. No one gets it. We have some getting it. Right. Anyway, to go to the fancy, it was one of those classic, hey, the arbiter is trying to get the party together scenarios. So you all go there. In the meantime, and then eventually Rebecca came out and was hungry. She tried to seduce Tony. Tony didn't get it. So he took her to the fancy. Earlier that evening, Nord Zetterberg, and I have a thought. Ken, is it possible in this stream or perhaps the next to have your all's characters' names underneath your videos?
Oh, to add them under us? I don't.
Yeah.
I think if Discord did it, it would be. But
Oh,
I
we
just
might
put,
we might be able to do that.
I
If
bet
can
I
you
haven't.
can you use your mouse, hover over one of our photos? It might pop up the names. It doesn't.
Here's some excitement.
It would be
Alright.
in Discord that you do it.
I am.
Oh, it doesn't do it.
Yeah, I mean, we're all our Discord names, and then it
Yeah,
disappears.
Right. Oh, it does disappear.
Yeah, it disappears. I
Okay.
do put up their names when you
Okay,
talk about
cool,
them, or when
cool.
they're talking. So
Okay.
I believe, like, eventually anybody who's watching will
Okay.
know.
All right. Well, for the future, we can work out something and figure out how to do that. At any rate, your character Nord Zetterberg, he's living in his van, his VW van down by the river, in the warehouse district. And when he sees, because he's a photographer, he sees across the water on the beach of this island called Bell Island, this abandoned island that has all sorts of mysteries behind it. He sees a light, which piques his interest. He traverses this rickety-ass bridge, this ancient bridge, to get onto the beach, and thinks that he takes a picture of a ghost. It is a native-looking woman who is luminescent, and it seems like she's walking but almost floating across the beach. Of course, it's the 80s, so he can't check his film without developing it. He decides to investigate further, goes into the forest, which is heavily overgrown, and he sees a newspaper. Do you remember what was on the newspaper?
I don't think I looked.
Ah, indeed. Good. Did you take the newspaper?
I did. I took it.
You took the newspaper. And you went into the foliage, only to find this massive rock, this boulder-sized rock, but it's been hewn, kind of like a remnant of Stonehenge. And there are all these weird hieroglyphics carved into it. It's all overgrown. And that's when you hear the rattlesnakes. Nord freezes and then makes a break for it after he hears the rattlesnakes, the mini snakes, slither away. He gets back to his van in time to see that a police car and two police officers are investigating it. They accost him. He bluffs his way out of the situation and then takes his VW down to the fancy, where he meets the rest of these people. Some of you know each other, some of you don't. In the diner, you meet Eunice, who is the waitress who seems to always be on staff. Why? Because that's the way restaurants are these days, or those days. And also, that way you only have to remember one waitress's name. I've done the whole thing where I have like 4 or 5 in different shifts. No one ever knows. No one cares. She's just always there, and she's wearing the same clothes every day. Never uses the bathroom. Basically is like a normal waitress. No one gets it. Okay. That's the situation. It's about 3 days, 2.5 days, because it's very late now. I think I said it's about midnight or coming on to midnight. In technically 3 days from now, there will be the equinox, the spring equinox. I may have misspoke last time and said solstice. I would be wrong. This would be the vernal equinox, I believe, is in the spring. Is that right, Andrea?
I believe so, yes.
You did say equinox last time.
Okay, good. It's because I
And
never
Little
make
Gotham. Little
It's 'cause
Gotham
I-
said the green screens are fun.
Because I never make mistakes.
I said solstice
Nothing.
last time.
Nothing. Did I say solstice?
No, I said solstice.
Oh, you said solstice.
That was me. That was me.
I see. Well, it's the equinox.
It's the It's the opposite of a solstice. It's fine.
Right.
Nobody's gonna fact check us, are they? I mean, I feel like if
Well,
we're
so-
okay-
Our 2 followers might be like, "Hey, what the fuck?" Okay. So everyone knows. I'm pretty sure. Does everyone know what the equinox is?
Yeah.
If anyone did not know, would you say you didn't? I wouldn't. I'd be like, of course I know it. Anyway, right. That's the situation. A lot of weird shit has happened. It can all be explained in certain ways. Maybe not the some of the shit that's gone down for Leah.
Yeah.
For when you guys got back to your apartment, the dead body of Clois had moved to the door, and then in a blink of an eye was standing with glowing blue eyes before collapsing again. The cops banged on the door, trying to get in. You guys were really quiet, and that is actually what your impetus was to leave. Yeah. Yeah. So that's the situation. A few reminders. Leah, Detective Idaway. We'll say that I think we had some reason that you knew him, like he helped you find an apartment or something.
That was me.
Yeah. And then Simon, you have worked with Idaway before. You know that I believe he's in his 50s. I need a better way of doing this. Yeah. He's in his 50s, and he's quite obsessive about a string of murders unsolved that have been going on for the past 30 years. We'll start with you guys in the diner. There's nothing really going on other than what was going on last time. Your food has been brought out. You got your piping hot coffee if you're into that kind of thing at midnight. And in fact, as you all sit there or stand there doing whatever you do, you hear a clock tower toll the hour 12. The action is on you all.
Well, there was this ghost. Do you guys experience anything weird? This was the weirdest night. I mean, I don't usually talk to cops, but I mean, I don't get. I've never seen anything like this before.
You're asking me, have we experienced anything weird?
Yeah.
I tried to be a priest.
Well, that's weird. I mean, I admit
Thank
that is
you,
weird.
yeah.
That's definitely weird. I've traveled the world, and I went to this island and saw this ghost, and there was this pillar. It was like Stonehenge mixed with like a Grateful Dead concert. I think, yeah,
Sure.
or Pink Floyd or something. It was just like far out, man. There's this ghostly woman.
I would have traveled across the world, but I was in school. You know how that goes.
Stay in school.
I got on a bus and it disappeared from under my feet.
What disappeared?
I was on a bus. Well, I was getting my daughter. And we got on the bus, and shortly after I was getting ready to get off the bus disappeared from underneath my feet.
It vanished.
Yes.
I've never heard of anything like that happening before. This is far beyond anything I've ever heard of.
Oh yeah, I saw some bloody runes when the lights went out.
I saw that as well in my house.
Did you write? If you could you write them down?
Actually, I can do you one better. And at this point she'll reach into her pocket and pull out the note that she got off Clois and hand it to your character Hawker and say, "Is this what it looked like?"
I'm gonna look at it.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump over there and look at it too.
Do these look anywhere near familiar with to what I saw?
Oh yeah.
Then I say, "Oh
Right.
wow, this is well, this is definitely connected." Yeah. Yeah.
Can I read them?
Now this is all getting weird. Yeah, I saw these same runes or writing or whatever at someone else's place, probably at the same time, near where I live. So that's not gonna doesn't bode well. I got to go back there tonight to like sleep, and I'm sure you got to go back to your place as well, unless this place doesn't close. Then maybe we'll just stay here.
Can I grab the piece of paper out of his hand and try to read
give
the
it to you.
runes? Oh.
Yep. And I posted what the runes look like in the Discord. As they're very pictographic. They kind of look like hieroglyphics. And no one can read them.
They kind of look like cuneiform,
Yeah,
but
they
I
look
can't read them.
Egyptian.
Well,
Yeah,
Can
it's like a
can I-
weird.
Did
Can I
you look
bid?
at did you look at the link?
No.
Because it
Can I
gives
make
it
a
up
bid?
pretty fast. Yeah, of course.
Because I read hieroglyphics. That's a thing that I have that ability to do. So does it remind me of anything or
Yeah, we'll say go ahead and throw down. So it'll be
Okay.
your action die, which is a D10, and it'll be
yeah.
your mind aspect die.
Okay.
The threshold for this will be 2. Since you bid hieroglyphics, since that's something you already know, this will be to determine what these are. You know that you can't read them, but you can get some information about them, maybe what actual script they are.
Okay. So that's 2 successes.
Nice. So that is limbo. Do you have anything to bump you up over it? Which limbo is a yes, but, which is fine.
Could I use journalism?
So you need an ability that gives you a bonus, or you can bid ninja gear that gives you an extra die.
Oh, yeah, I don't have any. I mean, I'll take a photo of it. So
You want to bid your camera by taking a photo of it?
yeah, I can.
Yeah.
bid-
Okay.
bid
All
my camera.
right. Does your camera have any traits on it?
Yeah, it's got a couple. I've got a lens and a lens kit and a flash.
Okay. So that means that it is a D8 that you gain.
Oh,
So it's
no, it
normally
has. It just has one additional.
okay.
thing.
So
It's
it's
a
a
D6.
D6. All right. So
Yeah.
roll a D6 and see if you get a success on it.
No. Nope.
All right. You
Can I
can do.
use learning a
Yeah.
proficiency to
Yep.
reroll the die?
Yes, you can.
All right. Let's try that. No.
All right.
I'll be in limbo.
So with limbo, with a threshold of 2, as you're sitting there looking at also someone can aid him. I know you guys are new to the mechanics. Someone can aid. The way you aid is you bid a trait to aid him, and then you give him one of your aspect dice. So you can do that if you want. And actually, as many of you want to do it, can do it. Although you don't have that aspect die anymore until the next sort of encounter.
You know what, Howard? I'm gonna bid Israeli and give him my mind aspect dice just because you're
All right.
kind of living the whole
All right, what is your mind aspect?
4, so it'd be a D8.
Okay, so you get a D8 as well.
That would be a success. So it's
All right, so you're at 3 successes. So you beat the threshold. You have a clean success, is what that is. As you sit there looking at these hieroglyphics, you realize they're not hieroglyphics at all in the sense of Egyptian hieroglyphics, what normally people would say. You think it's older somehow. As you've seen this before. Leah, how do you aid him? What do you say to him?
I'll say to him, I'll lean over and say, "Oh, I think I've seen something like this, maybe similar, in the Middle East."
As you sit there racking your brain, Nord, and you realize these are Sumerian.
these are Sumerian.
Yeah.
That would make sense.
As
It's,
Holker
it's
said,
incredible. This is like the oldest. This is these are hieroglyphs from like the first civilization on the planet Earth. It's incredible. Where did you find these?
you know it's from around 8,000 years ago. I'm sorry, 10,000 years ago, about 8,000 BC. People in Mesopotamia and such probably used it. It's old shit.
This is an incredible find. I've only seen, what is this? Is that predate the Dead Sea Scrolls, I believe, or it's
Oh,
it's the
yeah.
Dead-
Sure.
Oh yeah.
That's older than the
8,000
Bible.
years.
Yeah.
It's old. Yeah, it's older than some Christians think. The world. It's impressive. It's impressive. But
I
As
didn't know
you
it's
feel
that
like-
old.
I'm sorry.
I didn't know it's that old.
Just it's a gut feeling. I mean, these are the scribe, the lettering, just the dashes and the points and the way that it kind of melds together. It's like a fundamental. I've been studying the fundamentals of reality and of ancient cultures for most of my life in various ways.
Leah will lean over and say, "Do you think it's possible someone could be using Sumerian as a code?"
As you will get a pip, Nord, you realize while you know the language and can sound it out, it doesn't mean anything. And you don't necessarily know Sumerian, but unless you do, but regardless, you can tell it's not the Sumerian language. As Leah says that, it confirms in your own mind, oh, this is some sort of cipher or code.
This is the code. because it doesn't make sense. It's like the tree by the sky in the water. I don't
It's
know.
actually pretty close to what it actually says.
Well, in
Doesn't
all
make any sense.
fairness, that it makes a lot of sense. If criminals are running something through here, they're obviously going to use code. They're just using code from a long time ago.
Maybe it's just a cipher for English.
I have no
Possibly.
idea.
Idaway, does this have to do with what you were calling me down here for?
Give me a second. I'm getting. You'll notice that Rebecca Foster has moved over and is looking over your shoulder, Nord and Leah, your shoulders, as she's sort of leaning there. She's in her her night dress. She's got a cup of coffee with like a shitty greasy spoon biscotti on it, and she's sipping her coffee, looking down. Whoa. Simon, you're talking to Detective Idaway. He's looking. He's not paying attention to any of that. He has this dossier out. You notice there's like several people, several files in there with big black and white photographs. People holding up the numbers and everything, as well as just general information about different people. And he's thumbing through. You can see some of the pages where he's thumbed through so many times. The oil in his hands has caused it to brown and such. And a few of the papers are potentially decades old, as they're all dried and crispy. His nose is in this dossier as you talk to him. He doesn't seem to notice what you're saying.
Hey! I'm waving my hand in between him and the paper. You called me down here.
Right. I was wondering, and he kind of looks up and notices all of them looking at this cuneiform. He shakes his head. Sit down. You're sitting in front of him, or are you standing?
Yeah, I'm sitting in front of him.
Have you ever seen these people? And he turns the dossier around, and you see before you a couple documents and some pictures. They're of two girls, maybe teenagers. You actually see their birth dates. Makes them about 15, 16 years old.
Is one of them Gabby DuPont?
One of them is Gabby DuPont. You get a pip. Well done. I have a really shitty way of doing this right now. Sorry, it will take a second. Right. Yeah, one of them is Gabby DuPont, Gabriella, and then one of them, you see the name is Annabelle Butte. And I can give you descriptions as you ask and if you bid and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, well, I know who Gabby DuPont is.
You do?
Yeah.
Have you seen her? Have you seen her?
I have not, but I've noticed that I've seen the reports that she's been missing.
You see
I know
his
her too.
face kind of fall a little bit. Have you seen her before?
I believe I saw her at the parish I used to work at.
How long ago was this?
Oh, this must have been several years, at least, probably 5. She would have been much younger then, so I don't think I would have recognized her. But I do recall that name and her family.
Damn it.
But this other girl, Annabelle, I've never heard of her.
Steve taps it. Well, there's a good chance that she's gonna go missing next. You see his eyes are kind of wild. Sort of reminds you maybe in a way of Nord, as one of his eyes kind of like bugging out and it's all bloodshot. you could gather that Idaway has not slept for a while.
So, do you know where this Annabelle girl is now? Is that what you want? Is you want me to follow her, make sure she doesn't get kidnapped?
You get the right of it. I talked to her. Her parents, of course. They wouldn't talk because I was a cop. And they informed me of their citizens' rights. So he kind of sits there and, like an ADHD kid, kind of moves back and forth. You can bid or throw down to notice something.
I will. Did our traits get refreshed?
Yeah.
Okay, so I will bid observant.
One, as you bid observant, you notice the cuffs on his sleeves are frayed. He's got a couple holes in his jacket and such. You can see by the frumpled clothes, he probably hasn't changed his clothes in a while. As it kind of dawns on you, he may have not been home in days, even weeks. It's only now that maybe you smell over the greasy spoon smell, the stale car smell coming off of him. And you see just the slightest tinge of white substance under his nostril.
So you need someone to share shifts with you. Try and see you try to keep yourself up longer than you should.
Yeah. Well, even I have my own limits, Simon. You should never have left the force.
I had to get out of there after everything that happened.
I suppose some of us have to quit. Rocks back and forth a little bit. No offense.
Hey, I'm just getting paid more to do it now.
Fair enough. The action is on you all.
Can I look? Can I look at the detective? What was his name again?
Duck Idaway.
Can I
Go ahead.
can I bid priest to see if someone might have confessed to me a few details about what went down?
The details of what?
Why Simon's no longer a cop?
Oh, interesting. Okay, sure. Go ahead and throw down, and we'll say, Simon, have you tried to keep this quiet, hush hush, or is it something that if somebody dug into, they would find out?
Oh, if somebody dug into it, there's this official story.
Okay.
So
Go ahead and get throw down. It'll be a threshold of 1 because someone probably did, and you'll get the official story. If you can crit that, so if you can get a 3 on it, then Simon can tell you maybe what you would have known.
So
And I'll leave it up to Simon.
that's what a D10 and a
So yeah, the D10 is your action die. So you
Yeah.
get that. Your aspect, what would be the aspect to go along with this?
I'm gonna guess it would be a simple mind, just to see if I remember it.
Sure.
All right, here we go. I got a 9 and a 2, so that's 2 successes.
Right. So you beat the threshold by 1, which means it's a clean success. Simon, what is the official story you can tell Tony?
So me and my partner Albert Fox, we were tracing down the hoodlum the Hemlock Hoodlum, and we got a lead on his whereabouts. When we went in, we caught him there, but he had the biggest dog I have ever seen. It came out and attacked my partner and drug him off. I got a few shots into the Hemlock Hoodlum and his dog, but they got away from me in the panic. My partner was never found. Nobody believed me about the dog. And after that, the Hemlock Hoodlum went to ground. I was not able to find out where he was. Some of the cops made fun of me because of my description of the dog. And so I spent 2 more years in the force before I took early retirement.
You look at Idaway as you can tell Tony that he knows the story as he's just sitting there nodding along with it.
How big was this dog again?
It was like a Great Dane, but it didn't look like a Great Dane. It looked like maybe it was a pit bull the size of a Great Dane. Knowing the dogs in this area and some of the gangsters and stuff around here, maybe they tried to crossbreed it or something. I don't know, but it was a massive dog. I put at least 2 rounds into it, and it didn't seem to phase it.
You can see Idaway kind of shaking his head. It's difficult to read his expression as Tony's saying this.
Simon.
Right, Simon, whatever. Tony too.
Can I look at this hideaway guy?
Yeah.
Like, do I see the white substance on his nose and
What do you bid?
snooping? Because I've been van lifing it for a while. I just I want to assess if he has any maybe he's got more than just cocaine or whatever.
Yeah,
Like
as
maybe
you
a little smell and kind of like
as you are able to, you can see Idaway reacting to all of them, and he's not looking at you. You're able to get your voyeur on and give him a look over. And you notice all of the things that I'd mentioned to Simon.
and is he gaunt? I mean, is he
It looks
nourished?
no, he's in his maybe middle-ish 50s. It's kind of hard to tell. And he probably eats really poorly. So he has like the little pot belly, drinks a lot. But otherwise, yeah, he's fairly skinny.
So guys,
You'll say that he's got like some gummy bears stuffed into his pocket, you see.
Oh Lord.
I don't
He'll
know what
eat
to
some.
make of I don't know what to make of lost missing girls. That's the first I've heard of anything like that. Do you think this is all connected?
Idaway looks
Hey.
up. Everything's connected. It's all connected. It's all been connected.
Yeah, you're a journalist, and this is the first you're hearing of lost girls.
Well, these missing girls. I mean, I didn't know. I've been studying other things.
You
lately,
hear
like-
Rebecca Foster. You can like hear her turning on her heel. She rolls her eyes and she says, "Oh, brother," and goes back to the table, sits down, and starts eating her late night breakfast.
Has news of this stuff has this stuff made the news yet, or is it just us and
It's been all over the news.
Yeah,
I don't
the
have
Gabby,
TV.
the Gabby part.
Not
has-
just the Gabby part, the whole thing. Just people don't pay attention anymore. As he takes the dossier and holds it up like a fan, like a grandmother would like wave at you. It's all in here. They just don't listen. Eunice comes out, the waitress. Go on.
I was gonna say at this point, Leah will bid Soldier, to say that she's seen this kind of erratic behavior from Soldier, from guys in the hole, trying to stay up too late, to do the job, and she'll put her hand on his shoulder and say, "I think you need to get some sleep, friend."
Do you bid anything?
Yeah, Soldier.
Oh, you bid Soldier.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to be mechanical, go ahead and throw down. You bid Soldier, so he's not going to attack you. But it'll be a threshold of, we'll say 1.
Okay. So let's see. That's gonna be my Would that probably be my mind die or my wits die? Do you think?
Either one.
Okay.
Depending on which one you choose, that will determine the outcome.
Okay.
So
I'd
you
say
can do
then.
brawn to hold him, it's that kind of thing.
Gotcha. I think I feel like wits makes the most sense. The real question is, I need to find a freaking D8. I don't know where. I thought I had one. But... here we go. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna use wits, and that's a 10 and a 6.
So that's how many successes?
So that's 4 successes total.
3 successes.
Yes. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Right. So the 10 gives you 2, the 6 gives you 1. And
Yes.
because you rolled a 10, you get flair, which means you get to recover either a trait or a proficiency that you've already exhausted.
Okay.
So a 10 up on a die, so a D10 or a D12, gives you flair. And let's say you roll a bunch of dice and you get flair 4 times, that means you recover that many exhausted whatevers. How many did you get? You got 3. So more mechanics. Threshold was 1, you got 3, so you beat it by 2. That gives you a narrative point. You can use that right now, which is the idea, but you can also bank it. Remember, you can only have 5.
I'll bank it for now.
Okay. As you Leah puts her hand firmly on Idaway's shoulder, there's this moment, I imagine, a very cinematic moment, where you see these 2, maybe not 2 soldiers, but 2 people that have dealt with the darker side of humanity. And he pauses. He actually controls his emotions for a moment and slowly puts down the dossier. He nods and then will actually give you kind of like a half smile. Yeah, you're right. I've been burning it at both ends for a long time now. Since you got the narrative point, since you crit on this, Leah, you can tell there's probably more that's going on in Idaway's life that he's not letting on, but you kind of sense. Yeah. Anyway, thanks. Just he moves out of your range. Back to Simon. We need to find Gabby, if she's even still alive. And Annabelle. I think she knows something. I call it a hunch. There's others. But if you can find Annabelle and keep her safe, I don't think they'll get her.
Well, 12-hour shifts are hard on anyone.
12.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If it's just you and me, it'd be 2 12-hour shifts. Maybe... I know Leah was in the military, and Tony's a guard. I mean, this other guy's a journalist, so we all have experience watching people. Maybe we can split it up and make it a little easier.
After 7 hours, I just wave them on through.
Okay, maybe the 2...
He says, look, Simon, How you run your ship is up to you. But we don't have much time. The equinox, which is weird hearing a detective say that word for some reason. The equinox is coming on pretty soon. That's when it happens. That's when it happened before.
Well, if these crazy people believe something, they stick to their schedules.
Can I bid a tape recorder? Because I got that audio tape recorder and just start playing the drum beats that I was, or whatever it is.
Sure.
These guys.
You can bid it. What are you trying to accomplish with this bid?
Well, maybe it was a ritual of some kind, and I just maybe I want to see anybody's reaction if they've heard anything like this before.
Okay.
Just to see what the table.
So you don't have to bid to do that. You can just do it.
Yeah. Can I just play?
If you're trying to shape the narrative, then you would need to bid. But otherwise, if you're just trying to do it, you can just do it.
I just want to see what people like.
Sure. Yeah.
People react.
So describe to them what exactly you do and all of that.
I hit rewind because it just happened for maybe, I don't know, 20 seconds, and then hit play. You guys got to hear this. This was going on the island tonight. I wonder if this is connected as well. If everything's connected, maybe this is also connected.
Well, it's obvious we're now connected, so we might as well stick together.
The plot demands it. Nah, you can split up.
I played the tape.
Go ahead.
Yes, you play the tape. As you hear the little rewind, which no one hears anymore. That as in true fashion, you hit go. It's not the right spot. You got to go back. Then you got to go forward a little bit. It's you. It's you talking. What would you have been using this for?
I'm more opium.
I will give you a pip for that. That's good. Yeah, as you click it, and it's you recording, buying opium from the dude, just in case, just in case you get jumped. You're like, all right, I'm about to meet so and so. As you quickly.
Nope.
As you get to the right spot, you hit play, and you all hear the sound of, it almost sounds like a jungle. Not like monkeys in the distance, but like, this nighttime sounds, bats fluttering around. Every so often, maybe Nord wasn't paying attention at the time because he was paying attention to other things, but you can hear quite adeptly from this recording the distant sound of a rattlesnake. As it's beyond that, you hear his breathing, and that's all. You hear no drums or anything.
I could have sworn there were drums on here before.
You mean like the Grateful Dead?
No, like I don't know, ceremonial drums, like the beating of the soul at night, when just they're in. I'm not a drummer, so I don't know.
I think the poppy's getting to your head.
He looks.
It's not.
Idaway looks around at you all. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Real. I'm telling you, it was real.
Eunice comes out with more coffee, pours. So, Huns, you all burning the midnight oil? What's going on? Looks like you're all having a book club at midnight.
Can you get some pancakes for my daughter?
Eunice looks over at where Mariah is, and as you notice, Leah, and maybe anyone else who looks, she's face down on the table, asleep, over in the corner. Yeah. You want a full stack or maybe half?
Probably, yeah, for now.
She writes on her little ticket thing. Anything else?
Yeah, probably a cup of coffee for me.
No problem. As Eunice goes into the back. And yeah, that is happening. Rebecca's. Go on.
Idaway, do you have an address for the Annabelle? Maybe we can go scope the place out and kind of watch
Yeah.
it for tonight so you can get some rest.
Yeah, I do. But he leans in. You guys can all hear him, but he leans in nonetheless and whispers, but it's loud enough. It's like when a boomer whispers. Technically, you're all maybe boomers or Gen Xers. He's definitely a boomer. As
We're all
he's like,
boomers.
as he
We're all
says,
boomers.
yeah. But just keep out of sight. I was over there for quite a while. If you get my drift. As he
I know what
slides you
I'm
the
doing.
address. The address is near the Jefferson Corridor, just across into Grosse Point.
At this point, Leah will grab Simon's arm and sort of pull him slightly away from everyone else and sort of lean into it, lean closer to him and say, I might have a more immediate problem.
Oh, you mean that body that your daughter was talking about?
Yes.
What happened there?
I don't even understand it. A former colleague of mine from the military in Israel came.
Were you at fault?
No.
Okay. Go ahead.
He just appeared out of nowhere in my hallway and knocked on my door. And when I came, he was already bleeding out.
Okay.
And he didn't even have a chance to tell me what was happening, other than something about this Gabby person, DuPont.
So he was talking about Gabby DuPont as well.
Yes.
So yes, this is all interconnected. And so that piece of paper that Nord was looking at, you got from him, you said?
I found it in his pocket.
So, okay.
Do you guys have a
Uh,
photo of Gabby? Does anybody have a photo?
Oh yes, it's in this dossier right here.
Can I look at that photo?
I look at the
Yes.
address, and I have a question.
Do it.
Is that the church? Is it St. Columba Church? Because I would probably recognize it immediately.
Say that again. What church?
You said there was an address that was near Jefferson Corridor and Grosse Point.
No,
Oh.
that is not the church.
Right.
Although it's near the church.
Yeah, that's Annabelle's address. Okay, so go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, can I see a photo? Do I recognize this woman?
I'm trying to find this photo.
I mean, just I don't have to see it. Theater of the mind.
Oh.
Does Nord recognize this person?
Do you? Do you bid something?
I will bid yellow journalism? Sensationalism?
As you bid yellow journalism and the sensationalism of it, you have seen her before, but not in person, you realize. You've seen her in photos. Like, maybe even on a magazine.
She's pretty.
She is. I need to make sure I'm 100% right on this. Sorry. The problem with notes, you actually have to like say the same thing every time. She is lovely to behold. She looks like she's around 15, maybe going on 16. She's African American. Her hair is arranged in this. It's not a headdress, but it's this wild but short formation or style on her head. It's something fairly new. This is maybe not. Yeah, it's fairly newish, and it's very counterculture. It's spiky and whatnot, as you realize it is goth. This thing called goth. She has on very classic goth makeup. It's not like all painted white or anything, but you see her clothes. It's maybe from the shoulders up. Looks strange at first, but then you realize it's all this Victorian style wear. And she'll have like little earrings that have like skull and crossbones. So she is lovely. She's also witchy, it looks like, and gothic. So you're staring there looking at this this photo. What are the rest of you doing?
Actually, at this point, I'm going to bid soldier, and I'm curious if knowing, obviously not knowing Sumerian, but maybe I work with I'm sorry, I totally forget your character's name, the photographer.
Nord.
Okay, yeah, sorry. Maybe working with Nord to see if it's like an actual cipher that is used by the military, because particularly since it was came from my friend, maybe it's something that's like an actual cipher that was used.
So all that's out of game. What do you do in game? Like, go ahead and describe it.
Oh, I mean, basically, he's like, well, I mean, assuming that the pancakes are probably, up already, go over and sit at the table and say, hey, can you help me work on this real quick?
Sure.
I think I might have an idea.
Okay. Shoot. Concerning these hieroglyphs, I think this is really interesting.
How do you guys go about this?
Well, maybe what I would have you Nord do is like.
Well, don't tell me out again. Tell me in game.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. If you could be so kind as to directly translate the hieroglyphics into their consonants and syllables, maybe I can see if it makes sense in some kind of cipher I'm familiar with.
I can try that. I don't know if I can do that right now, but I certainly can. I'll have to really dig deep and reference it. I'll need a library or something to get any deeper than I am just in the surface glance.
Well,
anything that you can do right now might be helpful, because if it's something like, if it's a word or phrase that would make sense, maybe you can even figure it out from just part of the message.
Can I use an ability on this this manuscript?
Yeah.
Can I use the sense of colors?
Yeah. So what the abilities are is they're just traits you can bid normally. But what an ability, how an ability is differentiated from a normal trait is, one, it can give you bonuses to a roll, but two, it's literally something you can do that other people can't do, right? So anyone can take a picture. But if you have the scent of colors, that means you're using some kind of mysticism or something.
Yeah, I'm gonna use a little
So
mysticism and
to activate that, all you do is just bid a trait that would have to do with it. You don't have to bid the ability itself, although you can.
okay, and I would use focus or tier play seasoned. Should
Yeah.
you do that?
Sure.
And I have 2 successes automatically with the scent of colors.
Right. So that's only if you throw down, which of course you're gonna have to. So go ahead and throw down.
I'm gonna definitely throw down.
And go on.
Because I'm probably nearing the end of my.
Opium
I
pie?
just had a little tiny rock.
Yeah.
It's-
So so the bid to do something is a trait, and then you also have to bid a trait to activate the ability. So it'd be 2 traits.
Sure. So seasoned, and I will do great or break. Is that?
Yeah,
That's a gift.
you can do
Oh.
that. That is a trait. So which one of these is for the main action?
The main action of kind of
Getting the
looking deeply into this script.
Yep. Of
Um,
using mysticism to read
Yeah,
these
I mean-
runes.
Yeah, I used ancient hieroglyphs before.
So it's exhausted.
So that one's exhausted. Well, I'll use it worked in the past.
Yeah.
Oh wait, or am I just
Yeah, you
throwing
can do
too
that.
much stuff? Okay.
You just all you need is 2 traits. Okay.
Oh, all I need is 2 traits.
That's
So
just
so
it.
so I'll use greater break and seasoned.
Okay. So as you bid greater break, this kind of has the feeling of, if you don't do this, maybe you'll look stupid, or maybe you'll lose confidence in yourself. If that's the main action. If the main action is done with seasoned, then that's a little bit different.
No, greater break. I feel like I really want to show these guys.
Yeah. So that's how it's going to
Something.
affect the
Like
narrative.
I want to be included in this because anytime a journalist can get embedded within some kind of investigation, it's really important to them. So I feel like greater break is like I need to endear myself to them because I feel like these guys all know each other, but I'm coming in from the outside. So anything I can do to like be a part of this.
Okay. So how we're going to put this, we'll say it's a threshold of 3 to pull it off. So go ahead and throw down your action dice a d10. And what aspect are you going to use?
The aspect is mind.
Okay. As your ability gives you an automatic +2, all you need is 3 successes for limbo or more for a clean success. The stakes on this, so you guys know, if he fails, which I doubt he will, then he doesn't come off the greatest to you.
Is an 8 2 successes?
That is.
Okay, so I got 5 successes.
All right, describe this scene for everyone. As you do crit, you get a narrative point.
Okay, and I'll go ahead and use the narrative point.
Yeah, what that
now.
means is you actually have some control over this scene. You can change it a little bit to your favor.
I'm gonna grab like a pen out of my shirt, one of my little things, and I'll just start writing on this thing, and I'll do dashes and dots and be like, oh, this I when I was into Paul, I totally this is Ty. Like how is it? It's all connected. Oh my God, it is connected. This is crazy. This the synchronicity of this entire thing. It's mind-boggling. I don't know what to. And then I break it all down. What does it say? What is this meaning?
As you all see Nord go on this rant, and he's writing all these scribbles, But for some reason, it actually starts to make sense as he's starting and stopping and just saying fragments of words. You all find yourselves actually able to follow his train of thought, and you find yourselves looking at that piece of paper. Is anyone attempting to resist this railroading? Anybody?
No, I'm just a little too curious.
Is anyone riding the tiger into it?
Well, I mean, I'd imagine Leah probably kind of is, because she's, the whole point of doing this is to try and, to have her help decipher it in the first place. So,
Awesome. Okay. As you all find yourselves, the camera is overhead. You see like the parchment. Nord's there. It's like head is in the way. As you all find yourselves moving over like in a huddle over this parchment. Idaway is not. He's muttering to himself, still looking at the dossier. Eunice is in the back. She's actually whistling and talking to maybe the cook. You can kind of hear her muffled behind the swingy door. And Rebecca Foster is chowing down on her breakfast and doesn't seem to care or notice. She's sort of checked out from the situation. A light drizzle starts outside. A light drizzle of rain, not Drizzle himself. I'm funny. As you look at this cuneiform, and it's like one of those hangman things where there's like little blanks that Nord has written out, and he's filling out like Wheel of Fortune random letters, and it's quite long, almost a poetic type thing. Let's see what it says. The first thing you see, it spells out calamity and then repeats disaster. The earth shakes with the tides. This has happened before, and it will happen again. The flood. And it's like big, scratched out letters. The flood, the flood, the flood. And it says it 3 times. Devours all that once lay under the water before they receded. As you're sitting here looking at this and it's being filled out, you can hear the white noise of Nord's tape recorder still on play. As subtly you hear drums. These ceremonial drums. And a distant voice of like a chorus of men around a fire perhaps, chanting this ancient language. You notice, Leah, that Mariah actually wakes up with the noise, and her eyes are staring, leering at this recording as she's somehow involved as well. The last thing you write, Nord, the demon awakens. And at that moment, a slam, boom, on the window outside. And you see the body of a man in a rain jacket with a wide-brimmed hat, basically the male form of Carmen Sandiego in Detroit in the 80s. Slumped up against the door of the window, and he's holding this big bottle of whiskey. As he looks up, you can see just the bottom of his chin, rain flowing down, tons of stubble. This old man, maybe 70s, it's kind of hard to tell, as he pukes all over the entrance outside, just blah, wretches everywhere, and stumbles off against using the window to prop himself up, stumbles off and out of frame. As Idaway goes, "God damn it, not him again," and stands up and walks out the door. As he opens the door, the wind blows in this cold wind, unnaturally cold it seems. And Idaway steps over, kind of hops over the filth, bundles up, and starts moving towards whoever that guy was.
I asked Simon if he's ever arrested him.
I will. I'll bid hardened. Yeah. He's a local drunkard. Usually spends 1 or 2 nights in the pen, sleeps it off, and goes back out. He's a general nuisance. Doesn't ever do any harm, but I've had to wash my uniform once or twice after dealing with him.
Simon, are you gonna bid anything to know who that was?
Well, I bid hardened.
Oh, bid hardened.
Yeah.
As you know who it was, you could tell that chin from anywhere. That was William Tibbets. William Tibbets, he used to be famous in his youth, 20, 30, maybe even longer years ago. Knew Bobby Fischer, but William Tibbets's game was not chess. Since you bid hardened, you'll know that his game was cribbage.
What a game.
Okay.
Yeah, that's old drunk Willie. The minute his fame left him, he hit the bottle and hit it hard.
We'll actually say, tell me high or low.
Low.
That is low. We'll actually say that you see he dropped his bottle of whiskey as it bling, 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 clangs and does the spin the bottle thing on the sidewalk outside. And it is halfway full.
I wouldn't touch that bottle, though. You don't know where his lips have been this evening.
I know where his lips been. It's been on other bottles.
Yeah. In between the bottles. That's what you got to worry about.
Oh,
Listen.
like what? He's been in between the bottle, you know what I'm saying?
But
yeah, but it's whiskey, right? It's disinfectant. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, it's also rock gut whiskey. So, I mean, you want to take a swig of it, be my guest, but I'll just take a swig of this instead. But
Well,
you know what
whiskey's not
we probably should go check on that body in your apartment, Leah.
Eunice will
let's
be.
do that.
Eunice will come out of the back. All right, so are we doing checks? Do we want anything else? Do anybody want pie?
Did Idaway pay for his?
Money for my coffee.
Idaway did not pay for his.
I'll get
gonna
Idaway's. It's going in expenses.
I'm gonna use a kettle and give a nod to Eunice and like walk out.
Yeah, you do. As you bid kettle, which means you can get away with something once, perhaps more. She smiles at you. She's taking a shine to you. And as you walk out, Nord, at the corner of your eye, you see her smile really big. And as you turn back, in the glass, you see everyone, you know, their warped reflections. But you notice that Eunice has no reflection. As you do a double take and look back, and she's standing there smiling at you. As you look back at the reflection, she is there.
Can I take a photo of that?
Of what? Of her?
Yeah, just of the scene.
You mean of that flash in the door?
Yeah, just take a like. I noticed that. Is the reflection still gone?
Yeah, it's
With
gone,
her?
or it is now there.
Oh, it is
Actually,
now there.
tell me high or low. Tell me high or low.
Low.
It is low as you turn, maybe stammering at the door, and see, in fact, she has no reflection.
Yeah, just a wide shot of the scene.
As Nord whips out this camera, clank, 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 and takes a picture of it. What are the rest of you doing?
Leah will start getting money out and getting ready to, to pay her bill.
Yep.
I hand Eunice some money for my coffee.
Rebecca is still sitting, and she says, I mean, I want some pie.
You want some pie?
Leah will look back at her and say, well, I guess you can sit here by yourself.
She frowns at you. Do we really need more of your kind here?
Definitely more than we need more of your kind. I've seen you out on the corner at night.
She sticks her tongue out at you.
I say, hey, hold on. Let's not get mad at each other because and let's keep in mind that there are issues that there are bigger issues that we are both having to face at the same time.
I will. Rebecca. Eunice, get Rebecca a piece of pie. I'll cover it with Idaway's food. Rebecca, here's some cab money. Get home safely. I will check in on you when you get back.
Me?
If you want to sit here, we've got to go. There are pressing matters.
You hear Mariah, Leah. She goes, I mean, Mom, I wouldn't mind some pie too. Are we having pie?
Mariah, I'll get you some pie tomorrow, okay?
I tell Rebecca, I say, look, we live in the same building. I'll be in touch. I'll check in on you.
So you're all leaving me. And she's sitting there in like this flowing nightgown with this big plate of food. No, I don't want to go home in this. Alone. Fine, go. I'll be fine if she lights up a cigarette, which you can smoke indoors.
Tony, you brought her here.
All right. Well, look, I can take her home, but we got to meet somewhere.
No, don't worry about it, she says. You take me home, nothing would happen anyway.
All right, see you.
I've got a Buick. Do you guys want to come with me, or?
Yeah.
Guys,
it's gonna be a tight squeeze.
Mariah can sit on my lap.
Okay. So we'll probably we'll check out the situation at your house and then head over to this Annabelle's house to scope it out.
Rebecca's just
I'll
sort
follow
of
him in my
silently judging something. So you all leave, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, Simon, you gave Rebecca some cash. What do you bid to give her enough cash? And this is essentially how resources and wealth works. if you, for example, have money, you'd have like a trait that says like petty cash, and you just bid it, or you bid something else, and it's the idea that you have given that money up.
I'm gonna bid street smart because I know how much a cab will cost.
Sure.
And I know how much a cab at this time of night will cost.
Do you give her enough for her dinner?
Well, I already paid. No, I
Oh,
paid for
it.
the.
You paid for all
I
of it.
paid for the pie, and I paid for Idaway's food
Oh, yeah.
and
Yeah.
my coffee.
All right. It'll be like a strong like $15 for all that. It's expensive as fuck.
I'm writing it. It's going into Idaway's expenses. So
I know. All right.
he better live through this. He's gonna pay
you'll
me.
get a trait called expenses.
Ex-
And yeah, as you all jump into Simon's Buick. Yeah,
I'm gonna follow him in my VW.
you follow him in the VW. Does anybody go in the van? For Simon was not lying. He's got one of those cars that the back seat is full of shit. There's like Coke cans and bottles all over the place, like crushed McDonald's boxes and stuff.
I'll go in the van.
All right, Tony.
Let me move my wardrobe out of the front seat.
As Nord, describe your van to Tony.
My van is a hippie van, like that he acquired from a full-on hippie cult that was traveling through. It's not his first choice of vehicles. It stands out quite a bit while driving down the street. Usually, as a journalist, and certainly in his line of work, something that looks like a psychedelic experiment gone poorly, is not a great.
Does it have like like Shagwagon and like those bubble letters on the side of it?
Yeah, it's got like graffiti, all like different colored like layers of graffiti. If you were on the Twitch stream right now, you could probably see it, but it is a wild time. It's a party.
Once I get in there, I say to Nord, Nord, I'm a former priest, and I am trained to keep people's confessions in the highest confidence. So if you were ever a roadie for the Grateful Dead, I promise I will not reveal it. You can tell me. It's okay.
No, I found this van, man. It's not me. This is not my style. I just needed this van because I was out of the country, and I'm in the country, and like I'll start the vehicle. It takes it a couple of tries, and then Nord will immediately pull out and then start driving on the wrong side of the road because he's not used to. Oh wait, hold on one second.
Nord, what country did you go to?
I'll follow them.
Simon, describe your Buick to Leah.
Oh, my Buick's the one out here. It's the brown one. Looks like every other Buick that drives through here. It's supposed to look that way. People don't notice another brown Buick in Detroit.
Fair.
And she goes to the wrong one. So I'm like, no, this one.
As you get up, you pull on the handle. It almost comes off, just making you a shitty fucking Buick. It will never get broken into. As you guys drive off towards Leah's apartment, this will be a montage. So basically, we're just getting you to the next scene. No one can talk to enter a vehicle because we don't have cell phones. That's right. None of that. Although you guys can chat that are in the same vehicle with each other. Speaking of, in the Buick, Mariah is on Leah's lap as she moves around a little bit and actually gets into the back and is on top of like a sleeping roll, and there's like a big one of those big 1970s briefcases, all kinds of stuff, and within 30 seconds she's asleep, curled up like a little puppy on top of all that crap. It's the early 80s, so tell me high or low, Simon.
Low.
Your Buick does not have seatbelts.
I don't need them.
No. They're too restrictive.
Yeah.
I got to be able to move when I crash.
Yeah. And it's got the big bench seat across the front. And...
Right. So you guys can go have any conversations you want to have. This is the
Actually,
montage.
I will say, in that case, since it has like one of those big bench seats in front, can I use my narrative point to say Mariah actually basically stretched out and is laying on my lap?
Yeah, absolutely. That is where she is, and she fits perfectly. So it's the montage. So you bids are suspended. So is throwing down. This is all soft RP. You can talk. If you want to change the narrative, we drop out of the montage and we go into the dread, which is what you guys were just in. Otherwise, we get to the next encounter. During the montage, you can spend XP for advancements if you have enough XP, which is 3 XP. Or if you have advancements that are built up, you can actually spend them now.
So, Leah, I know that you've retired from the military and stuff. Are you okay helping out with this case?
Well, I mean, it's kind of too late. I've already involved, much to my chagrin.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure before you got much too more involved. But kid's life could be on the line.
I'll make sure she's taken care of.
Okay.
But unfortunately, one way or another, we need to figure this out, if only to clear any potential problems from a dead man showing up in my door.
There is that. So I won't help you
I know
dispose of
if
the
this-
body, but we'll figure something out.
I know if this becomes a problem, we're not probably going to be able to keep our green card for the time being.
We'll figure something out. I just need to see what's going on.
You're a priest? Like, I thought that was for life. What's up with that, man?
Listen, I kind of like some parts of being a priest, and then I didn't like some other parts, like the pay. So I quit.
I mean, it's a vow of poverty, I guess. You speak Latin? Are you
Yeah,
versed
well, I
in-
took a different vow with the U.S. government. I'm a
You-
border guard,
you're-
dude.
You're a border guard.
Surprised you haven't
Well,
seen me back from Canada.
I've not been to Canada yet. Is it nice?
I didn't have to go there. I was too busy being a priest, but that was kind of next on my list of options. You know.
Do you still believe in God? Is that your? Are you still into the?
You know, maybe that's why. The reason I'm struggling with this question is probably why I'm no longer a priest. But I must confess, some of the more mystical parts of the church I just found fascinating I got an apartment full of books on these matters. But it was probably for the best that I left the church. I didn't like being poor.
Yeah. So you follow like you got like the behind the Dead Sea Scrolls, the the prehistory
I
of
probably got a book on the subject somewhere.
yeah, for sure. Well, I'll have to go and check out. Do we turn here? I guess this is where he's going.
Yeah, you just follow him. I mean,
All right.
it's a follow the Buick.
I think it's,
Where's your place?
oh, you're living in it. This is where I am. This is that's the bedroom back there. That's well, there's no bathroom. Currently the world is the bathroom. So there we go.
Yeah, that's how the apostles saw it. Let's be honest. They Paul went from Israel to Rome and just took a dump all along the way, right out in the middle of nowhere.
Ken, did you see what Ember Eyes posted?
I did not.
This will be the image for Gabby.
Oh, nice.
Gabriella DuPont. Thank you, Ember.
Is that on Twitch?
Yeah.
No, it's on Discord.
Oh, Discord.
Oh, it
Sorry.
is on Discord. Oh, cool. Well, I will totally grab that. Carry on.
Yeah, just follow the Buick. I mean, I assume he knows where we're going. We're going to one of the woman's places. Is that what he said? Yeah, one of the girls. Hope we find her.
Oh yeah, I think we're gonna go look at a dead body that reanimated and maybe died again. I'm not too clear on the details. She was pretty upset. I didn't think she wanted to upset her kid.
Yeah, it sounds like a wild tale, and as crazy as it sounds, I'm gonna believe about anything at this point.
Well,
Yeah.
you wouldn't.
So listen. I don't think you're crazy. I know you're probably thinking that, but I don't because I saw some crazy stuff myself. So I'm gonna suspend all that all that for now. That and 10 years reading occult books in the Catholic Church, and then quitting, and then seeing a bunch of people trying to drive coke through the border.
Sure. Do you see anything weird in church? You ever see any like? I mean, I've seen a lot of stuff, man. Ghosts and spirits, and just things exploding. I got a photo on here that I think is going to change the way the world thinks about mysticism.
And you haven't
Absolutely.
developed it yet?
No, I just took it tonight. I mean, that's what I was going on with the hieroglyphics and it's just far out, man.
Yeah. So if you're ever curious, I don't know what it is, but I know a place that'll develop your stuff, no questions asked.
I got a dark room back here. I'm holding the wheel.
Coworkers kept recommending it to me. I don't know why they ever needed it, but
I start reaching around and moving this other thing back.
you got a dark room back here? Wow.
Yeah, it's just a small one. It's just very teeny tiny. But I put all these. I cover up all the windows, and yeah, this thing is like totally.
And you
decked
developed
out.
the stuff yourself.
Oh yeah, I mean,
I'm just gonna let this keep going.
you don't want to let other people touch your images. This is art, man. This is like culture. This is
You get good results.
yeah. I mean, some of the images look kind of like Bigfoot, in a snowstorm, but most of them turn out okay. It's an art form. This isn't science. Make a little science, and you can smell like chemicals. Like the van is
Oh, I smell stuff.
smells. It smells like darkroom chemicals. It's
Yeah, it
probably just a little
smells.
Like
bun. So
other
we need to.
chemicals too. This is,
Kind of-
listen to me. I'm gonna be honest with you. All right. Do
You
not.
see the apartment building coming up close, by the
Yeah,
way.
yeah,
Go
no,
on.
hold on. Last point. Do not try to drive across the border. Not in this state. Not in this van. You might have issues. Except, however, show up about like 4 a.m, right before shift change. They're probably going to be asleep, so they'll probably let you through, right? You have to do that. I'd let you through. I don't care. Especially on a Saturday.
Up in the Buick. Leah, you see your apartment building up ahead, a couple blocks. Simon, you helped Leah get this apartment, so you know where it is. We'll say that she didn't tell you what room it was, but if you want to bid something or throw down, you might already know what room it is.
Since we montaged and we're going back, do we get
Now
stuff back?
we will go back into the dread now. You don't have to do either one of these. It's just an option.
Okay. I'm gonna be like, so the apartment's working out for you. Which room did you get?
I don't know, let's say it's like 332 or something like that.
Yep.
Okay, not bad.
Do you pull up to the front and do street parking? Do you go into the alleyway? How do you do this?
I'm gonna pull up to the front and do street parking because
Well,
I think
and while we're passing the alleyway, I'll say, hold on, you mind bringing my daughter up to the door? I have to. We left it chained when we left.
So you didn't
So-
go out the front?
No,
Okay, I will.
I thought
I
it
will check
best,
that.
given that when we left, the cops were banging on my door, so I didn't want them.
Oh,
Yeah.
then maybe I'm going up the ladder escape with you because I don't want to be seen going in the front.
I know they. Well, I know they left, but
Okay, you go up that way. I'll come knocking on the door, but I'm gonna make it look like I'm there for legitimate purposes.
no, understandable.
As
And so-
you go on.
I'll get out of the door. I'll get out of the car and start walking toward the fire escape.
Okay. And Simon, why can't I remember your name? Simon, you pull up to the front. This is not a main street, but it's like a third, like a tertiary street. So it's large enough to where people can park on both sides, but it's one of those where people probably shouldn't, because when people are on both sides, you kind of have to do that negotiation when two cars are coming. It's at this point about midnight 30. The rain is light, but it's steady, just a drizzle. Leah, as you get out, you can hear the water coming down all the different gutters and just city sounds of that. Like in a city, when it rains, you can smell all of the bird shit I'm talking about. Maybe you don't, because you live
Yeah.
not in a. Well, you can smell a lot of bird shit in a city when it rains. Simon, as you pull up to the right, so you're at the corner. I'm sorry, you're at the curb that is closest to the apartment building. So you do not have to cross the street to get in the front door, is what I'm saying. Okay.
Right.
Unless you want to park somewhere else.
No, I'm fine
Yeah.
parking in front.
There's plenty of cars on the road. In fact, quite a few. You could guess they're probably people that live there. and there's apartment buildings all over the place. Some closed cafes around. The streets are dark. And here and there you see, like, in alleyways, tons of garbage and shit. And just think of Gotham City. That's what it kind of looks like. As you get out, what are you doing?
Mariah is still asleep, right?
Yep.
So I'm going to bid calm to pick her up carefully so she's still asleep and carry her up like I'm actually just bringing her home.
Yep. We're going to give you a pip for remembering the NPC.
Yep.
Well done.
So,
Go
does
on.
her building have an elevator?
High or low? We'll say, Leah, tell me high or low.
Oh, low.
I'm pretty sure I said it did, but we're going to see if it's in operation right now. It was low. Therefore, the elevator is in operation. It's one of those stately elevators, so it's old. Think of it's got like a red plush carpet, brass. It's the kind of elevator that should have an elevator attendant, but it doesn't. There's like a gate that comes down.
I got a question. Are all the carpets in the building red?
High or low?
Low again.
And which one do you want?
I want it to be yes.
Okay. It is low. They are all red.
Good. That might make it easier to hide any blood that may or may not have spilled on the ground.
At the top of the elevator, there's one of those like Matrix style like arrows that does the whole thing. And as you ding it, you see that it is on the third floor as it starts coming down. Leah, as you get to the fire escape, what do you bid to get up on this?
I'll bid soldier again because I have two of those.
Okay. You bid soldier.
Actually, are we in a new scene or are we still in the same scene?
Yeah.
Same scene. Same
Okay.
scene. Yeah. It's another dread, but it's still the same scene.
Gotcha.
As you bid soldier, that's all you need. You know how to do this. You've done it before. You just have to bid because it's raining and it's a little bit treacherous.
Yeah.
As you deftly swing up and climb up to the third floor where your apartment is. The VW, you guys, where are you parking?
Can we just pull in behind the Buick?
Yep. You come in right behind the Buick. As you stop the VW, tell me high or low, Nord.
High.
As that is high, it does not backfire and wake up the entire street.
Hmm?
What are you guys doing?
We're gonna follow.
I guess we're here.
We're gonna follow
Simon?
Simon.
All right. As
Jeez.
you guys, when you were pulling up, you saw Leah get out and go into the alleyway, and you saw Simon go in carrying Mariah. As you guys follow behind, Simon, do you wait on them in the elevator? The elevator doors are closing. You don't wait. As you guys come in the front door, you see Simon sitting there with Mariah. As the doors go, thunk.
I'm gonna watch to see what floor they end up on.
Okay. Slowly but surely, the arrow points to 3. Ding. As you guys are in the lobby of this, it's not nearly as ratty as your apartment, Tony, your apartment building. At one time, it probably was a really nice place. It's been kept up. There's no trash. You don't see any rats or cockroaches, which is wild. But it's just kind of dilapidated. There's a concierge desk, but there's no one there. It looks like it hasn't been used in a while. There's like a little chain that has, a sign that says open, but all the lights are off. In the back, there's like keys, but there's no keys. A vending machine that's half full, that kind of stuff. What y'all doing?
I
We're
said
gonna follow.
I mean,
to Nord, let's take this up to 3.
All right. As you guys wait on the elevator, Leah, you get to your apartment.
I climb in the window and you know. Oh,
You
and then
do?
after as soon as I get through the window, I'll go ahead and pull the gun out again, knowing what happened last time with the body.
You get the gun out. You're in. You climb in the window of your daughter's bedroom.
Mhm.
It's kind of creepy because all the lights are on. I think the television is on. Is it not?
Yeah.
Still in the same room. It almost feels like someone's in the room or in the house. There's a dead body in the kitchen. And there's blood strewn all over your living room and kitchen. As you are in this purplish room with posters of Janet Jackson and all sorts of like pop stars and gothic shit. It's the first time maybe, Leah, that you've actually like really taken a look from this angle. You've never really climbed in the window of your daughter's room. And maybe for the first time you kind of see she's not messy, but her room is not clean, and she's acquired things that you didn't know she had. You see on her bookshelf several books that you've never seen. You don't know where she bought those. She's about to be 11 years old. You see next to her bed, there's this tome of sorts. It's brown tome, and it has gold lettering on it, and this image of this looks like this ancient painting of this barbaric man in a fighting position on it. This paper and with all these sorts of scribbles and stuff all around it, and a pencil and all these sorts of things. Looks like she's been working on something. Regardless, all of her girly type stuff has been shoved away in like the little foot locker, and she has her homework and stuff out.
So at this point, I'll go to the door and look into the living room to see if anything.
You look into the living room, you see exactly how you left it, save for the blood pool in front of your front door, and then the dragging to and from.
Okay. So at that point, I will.
The TV is flickering and is static.
Okay. So at that point, I'll go to the front door and remove the chain and, and open the door, click to see if anybody's waiting.
As you open up the door and look, you hear ding, and lo and behold, Simon and Maria. Is it Maria or Mariah?
Actually, I kind of like Maria. That sounds
Maria?
particularly good.
I think it's Maria.
It wasn't, but I kind of like it. So
I think it was Mariah, and I've just been calling her Maria. Maria. It's the English form. As you guys see Leah down the long hallway as she's got the door cracked open.
I'll walk up and be like, shh, she's sleeping. So it
You
looks
walk-
like I want it to look like I'm dropping off her kid who's asleep and not here to look at a body.
What do you bid? What do you bid to accomplish this in the event that someone's watching?
Well, that's why I bid calm at the beginning. Do I need to bid something else? Or...
No. That'll work.
Okay.
That'll maintain. As you go into Leah's apartment, Leah, describe your apartment to Simon.
it's if you ever been in like a nicer but like also old style apartment, and it's kind of I'm gonna try and picture it as like my grandmother's apartment. So there's the hallway when you first come in, and it opens up fairly shortly into a living room, which is like, but then on the left, I'm gonna say, right when you come in the door is my daughter's bedroom, and then just on the other side of that is my bedroom, and then just on the other side of that is where the kitchen goes off to the left. So like you have more or less a hallway that opens up into a big living room with a connected kitchen, and then the 2 bedrooms on the left, and then I guess a bathroom on the right.
And you see this big pool of blood. That's at this point, it's gummy. It's coagulated a little bit, but it's still sticky. There's big booted footprints all around. Whatever rug is there underneath the little coffee table where you have in front of the TV, it really pulls the room together, ties it together. But it's covered in, thank you, in boot prints, blood tread, and the dragging of a body. Clearly, going to the kitchen, you see two feet sticking out of the kitchen. Lights in the kitchen flicker a little bit. The television, you notice, Simon, is white noise that garbles every so often, similar to what was happening in your room. You guys, go on.
Is this her room?
Yes.
All right. So I'll go and lay her down and then quietly come out.
On her bed, do you clear the bed or do you just lay her on all that stuff?
I'll clear the bed.
Are you going there too?
Yeah.
Do you shut the door?
I'll leave it open a crack.
Okay. You hear as you're turning around the elevator going downstairs. As you guys are in the lobby, ding! The elevator dings, it opens. What are you in the lobby doing?
Tapping my toes. Probably picking at things.
Door opens.
Let's go in.
All right.
Wait.
You all go in?
Yep.
Yeah. I hit all the buttons.
You hit all of the buttons?
Yes.
There's a special place in hell for you. as you see Nord go, tell me high or low.
Low.
All right. See, that is low, so I will use a D6 for this. There are 5 floors. As you go, there's also a basement.
Oh, nice.
As you guys go up to the 2nd floor, ding! You see a big hallway. A few people are maybe talking outside. They're smoking cigarettes in the hallway as they look over kind of nonchalantly and then continue talking. You two up in Leah's apartment, we'll get to you since it's going to take them a while to get up there.
Well, I mean, he's being smart. He's making sure nobody follows. Because if somebody's out watching the elevator, it's going to hit all the floors. I'm just saying. It's a smart move.
I don't care. You're not there. You're not there. Speaking of, so in these first couple sessions, I'm going to prompt a lot of bidding, but you guys can do that yourself. For example, like if you have an idea and you're like, hey, could I bid or throw down to do something? Or to notice something or to react to something, you can do that. But I'll be prompting some stuff. As the door is shutting on the elevator, you guys, one of you or both of you, can bid or throw down to notice something.
Yeah,
I will bid guard.
Okay.
I'll bid underdog.
All right. As you both bid this, basically both of you have been in old buildings trying to snoop around or protect it from people snooping around. As the door is closing, just as it closes, you notice 2 men walk in the front of the lobby, and they're wearing Dick Tracy style overcoats with hats. They've been in the rain for, you can tell, not too long. As the doors shut, and you go to the second floor.
I wonder who those guys are.
In Leah's apartment, Leah, you clear the bed. Simon, you notice this tome sitting there with the paper stuffed in it, the scribbles, and 2 or 3 pencils and such. As Leah picks it up, she accidentally nudges the chest of drawers, and you hear a clatter of several things that were probably on top precariously fall down below it or behind it. Leah, where do you put this book?
I'll just put it on the floor next to the bed. Actually, you know what? Since I've already picked it up, Leah will start sort of just quickly thumbing through it out of curiosity.
Simon, you put Leah to bed, or you put Maria to bed, right?
Yes.
She's instantly asleep, and she kind of snores.
The minute I set her down, I'm gonna pull out some gloves and put them on.
Creepy.
I'm a private eye, and I don't necessarily. There's a body in this room.
Was in the other room, but you
Doesn't
just
matter.
I sit down the little girl and I put on my gloves.
That is fair. Yeah, that's an image.
I haven't touched anything yet.
Leah, as you flip through this book, a lot of it doesn't make sense. It's all in English, of course, but there's a bunch of pictures and weird imagery, numbers all over the place. You see some pieces of paper, notebook paper that have been folded up, and it almost looks like math on it, pluses and minuses, and just these weird initializations, acronyms for stuff. You're not really sure. Weird names. It looks witchy. You can bid, or throw down, or do nothing. And the same thing. Same thing for you.
I'll throw down for this one.
Same thing for you, Simon. You're right there, putting on your gloves.
Oh. What is that book?
I don't know. It's something that my daughter had. So I'll throw down. It'll be my mind attribute, and I got 1 success.
Yep. 1 success is all you need, since it's a bid or a throwdown. As you're sitting there looking at it, you see it says Advanced Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh. Alright.
Okay. Sorry. As you see, she likes the warlock characters, although technically in AD&D there's no warlock character, but whatever. Okay? Whatever. Actually, there was a witch class. So she would have played the witch. It's a really cool class in AD&D. Anyway.
Well, while you look at that book, I'm gonna go check out the body.
Leah, you know that AD&D, you've watched some commercials. It's worshiping the devil.
Okay.
It makes people do bad things, apparently.
Yeah.
You'll notice next to her bed. You'll notice next to her bed is a Ouija board, and what had clattered behind the cabinet is a bunch of D20.
Fair.
Some crystals and such. Some shungite, some selenite.
Oh yeah. Like this?
Like that. big fuck all crystals, some tiger's eye. I dated a hippie once. At any rate, I'm just gonna keep on hammering it. Simon, you go into the kitchen.
Yes. And I'm gonna
What? Go on.
I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna go to the door and push it almost to, since
Okay.
she left it open, because I'm not gonna push it and shut it, but I'm gonna push it to, just because don't want to leave a door open with a dead body in your house.
You hear ding from down the hallway as you two get to the third floor. Gang, 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 gang. You look down the hallway, you see a bunch of rooms all over the place.
Since I heard the ding, I'm gonna open the door a little bit and go, and then push it back to.
A
so they know
door,
which-
a door at the end of the hallway opens just a smidge, and you see a gloved hand extend out and go like this, and then shut the door.
Okay.
I'll be right
See?
back.
I see that. Did we
Yeah,
see
that is what you saw.
What do you think? One of us rides this thing up to the top, and then maybe we can just jam the elevator at 5. See if those guys are after us or not. But maybe I'll just ride up to the top. I know I'll double back down here, and maybe catch up with you in this apartment.
Well, we don't really. I mean, we don't exactly know where they went after they got off the elevator.
Oh, did we not see the hand come out of the door? You just said we saw the hand come out of the door. Gestured for us to come.
Yeah, you saw a gloved hand extend out from a random door, beckon you further, and then recede, and the door shut.
Gotta be our guy.
Clearly.
Clearly, it's our guy.
Tell me high or low.
High.
Yeah, it's okay.
All right, yeah, we'll follow them.
Just a random person's like, come on.
I'm gonna ride the elevator to the top floor, and then I'm gonna jam it.
Tony, what are you doing? Are you getting out? Or are you riding it with him?
Yeah, I'm gonna get out.
Okay, Tony gets to Leah's room or Leah's apartment. You open the door, you go in. You notice the scene that I said before.
Yeah.
We're gonna first deal with inside Leah's apartment, and then we'll get to the elevator, since it's kind of a separate scene at this point. When I say scene, I'm saying little s scene, not big S scene. So the situation is, I don't really need to describe it, Tony. You kind of know what's going on, where everyone is. What do
At
you
this
all?
point, we closed the book and just sort of set it on the ground and started heading over into the kitchen where she knows the body is.
And on your way, you see Tony entering the apartment. Meanwhile, Simon, what are you doing as you get to the kitchen and you see a dead body? It's only been a couple hours. I don't think rigor mortis sets in a couple hours. I'm not a first responder, but I think it takes a few hours.
You got a little time. The body's probably still warm.
Yeah. I'm going to bid detective to proceed to examine the body, check and see the wound, see if I can understand what made it, because I've seen a lot of wounds and stuff like that being a detective. So
So this is going to take some time as Leah and Tony. Do you go to the kitchen or do you do something else?
I'll look back at Tony and say, "Where'd you leave the other one?"
We saw a couple of people that we think, we don't know if they're following us, but we just wanted to make absolutely sure. So he's doing something to kind of throw them off the trail, so to speak, and he'll be with us shortly.
I see.
So where's your guest?
He's in the kitchen. Come with me.
As you walk
normally
in,
I would perform last rites on this person, but maybe. Nah, he doesn't.
as you walk in,
Sorry, friend, he's Jewish.
indeed, Leah will get a pip.
Yeah, I didn't want to say that, but
Ember said that rigor mortis appears 2 hours after death.
Okay, well then it's starting to appear. Thank you, Ember. As you guys go to the kitchen, you notice, or you see Simon having very carefully. He's looking over the body. He's using gloves. Are you using anything else, or are you just sort of just using your
Probably
gloves?
got a pin like you see him, and I'm like
As you-
using the pin to kind of move
Move
stuff
him around.
around.
Rigor mortis has started to set in, so his limbs are kind of. I keep on using the word. There's gummy is the word I'm using for it. As you kind of move him, he's in sort of an awkward position. Go ahead and throw down, since you bid the detective, to loot the body. Be a threshold
What?
of 2.
What aspect would I use?
Which one do you use?
I would go with probably wits,
That makes sense.
because I'm using my wits as a detective. Ooh, that is 3, because I got a 10 and a 7.
Okay, so that 10 is flair. So you recover an exhausted trait or proficiency. As you beat the threshold, you beat limbo, so you're at a clean success. As you search the body, you notice what Leah noticed at first. This man, he looks haggard. Granted, he looks dead, so of course, but you can tell, despite him being dead, and the blood drained out of him because he's lost so much blood, he's aged. There's more wrinkles in his face than a man of his age there should be. Maybe it's because of war. You're not sure. But you also notice near the his temples and his eyebrows, there's some premature white. You look at the wound. It's a gnarly wound. It looks like something took a bite out of him, or he got mauled, perhaps. As you can see, you look inside and see that most of his liver has just been destroyed, has been taken out. And I mean, this guy didn't have a chance. Like he was gonna die. What could cause this? A really terrible car wreck, but he would likely have other contusions and such. It looks like he got mauled by an animal, like it took a swipe at him or something. You see, he has on a Kevlar vest. This wound has dug underneath it. Although the vest itself, while it's frayed a little bit, is still good. As you search around, you see there's a magazine for a pistol. And Leah, did you get his identification?
I did not. No.
I don't think you did. So you find his wallet with his ID and everything in it.
What
Go on.
What does the ID say?
Finding out. His name is Clois. Can't remember his last name though.
Okay, but it is his ID. It's not a fake ID. Okay.
Yeah, it is a real ID. It's a green card. You see that he's Israeli. He's about the same age as Leah is, maybe a little bit older. So many notes. Just a second. Come on, Klaus. Where are you? You dead.
Oh, it's Drakar. Sorry.
Thank you. Thank you. You get a pip for that. Remember, you can only have 5, so if you get the 5, you need to drop the load and gain a trait.
Which I will be doing. I'm just gonna wait till after.
Sounds good. Klaus Drakar. You also notice something that Leah may have missed. You see in his jacket, this leather jacket, one, the smell of rain, and actually maybe salt water. You notice in his jacket, there's 3 bullet holes that have ripped through. As you kind of lift his body and look and see, the back of the Kevlar vest actually has 2 bullets compacted in there, as he was shot in the back twice.
I'm assuming I would recognize the caliber.
Yes, and I should know that. Give me a second.
Just make one. It doesn't.
Maybe a 40 or
26.
9mm.
21, 22, whatever works, whatever it takes. It'll be a 40 caliber bullet.
So they weren't going for. They might not. Whoever was shooting them either didn't care or wasn't going for penetrating power. They were going for stopping power.
Some grenade shrapnel and some kryptonite too stuck in there.
Have you guys made it in the kitchen yet?
Oh yeah, they're right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Leah, it looks like this wound was probably done by an animal, I guess, because it ate part of the liver as well. That's not something a knife would do unless they stuck it in there and pulled it out. But somebody else shot him as well. Did you see the bullets?
I didn't get that far. Honestly, I got interrupted by the police and needing some help, I guess.
Well, if you want to, you can always say that this guy broke into your apartment and was already bleeding out, and you got here and found him later. If you want
I understand, but that's still any kind of investigation to be able to tie us two together. We served for a good bit.
But you could say that he came here because he knew of you, but you were not home, and he made his way in and died here, and you found his body later.
I suppose.
Because the wound would be, if you want to do it that way, if you want to do it the other way, you can always dump him in the river, because with the wound that killed him, the bullets won't matter.
Actually, upon hearing you, after you get done saying that, I'll actually, unload pull the pistol out of my back again, and pull out the magazine and check and see what kind of caliber the magazine or the gun is.
His?
Yeah.
He has a 9mm.
Okay.
Oh, so this magazine probably goes to that gun.
As you look, it does. And it has an extra nine bullets.
I will give this to you. You can probably easily get rid of that on the street.
You hear a...
I think we should hold on to it for the time being.
To Nord, 4th floor. Very similar as the one before, the one before it, smelling of smoke and pot, maybe some other kind of chemical in here.
Can I look out in the hallway and see if there's something I could jam the door open with? Or...
You're on the 4th floor.
Yeah, I just wanted to look here
Sure.
just to see.
Yeah, as you look around, what do you bid?
Altruist?
How are you gonna make that work?
Well, I believe that I can see things like truthfully.
I don't think.
No.
Did you say altruism?
It's there, so I see it.
I don't think that word means what you think it means.
I could do a shooter. I could bid like my camera shooting trait. Like as a photographer, I would know if there were things. I just want to look in the room. Oh, why don't I just use my mind?
But you can't bid your aspects. So
Oh,
the
you
reason that you're bidding is
Mhm.
to change the narrative so that there is something there. You can also spend a narrative point.
Oh, well, maybe I'll just spend a narrative point and say,
Okay, what then tell me what is there.
say that there, are end tables and, just sort of things and
Yeah, we'll say someone
but they haven't-
got evicted.
yeah, somebody got evicted. Yeah, that would be
So
great.
actually, no, this is a nicer apartment building. Someone moved out and they just there's like a little coffee table that's
There's
there.
always like little coffee tables with like
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
it's got
Like a
wilted
lamp.
flower. Yeah, like a lamp on it. Maybe I'll
Yeah,
just take
see
that
one.
lamp and I'll just rip it off the area and maybe not the lamp. I'll take the whole table and I'll just wedge it into the
door?
The door. Yeah.
As you just a few seconds after, cocoon, kish, cocoon. What do you do?
I think I'm gonna run to the stairwell.
Okay, as you get to the stairs, you get out. What do you do as you get into the stairwell?
And run down the stairs.
As you're clack, 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 you hear footfalls coming up the stairs.
Oh shit. Well, I might run up the stairs even more then.
All right, you get about halfway down as you're like, fuck. You turn around and stairs suck. Are you trying to be quiet or are you just running up?
I'm gonna run up. I'll
Because
be
you're
loud.
As you get up to the 5th floor, tell me high or
Yeah.
low. Right, that is high. As you get to the 5th floor, you can see there's a 6th floor that reaches to the roof, and there's a little, sign that says "Don't use," fire escape type thing.
Oh yeah, that's where I'm going.
Okay, as you get up to the roof, do you go through?
Yeah, I go through. Making sure not to let the door slam all the way, just in case there's no other. So I might put like a rock or something in between the door. So if it, how they lock sometimes.
Yeah.
If the
Oh
door-
yeah, I know exactly how they lock sometimes.
So I don't
I
want to get
know.
locked in.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
As
gonna-
as
something.
you're on top of a roof, so you
Wedge.
easily find a rock and put it in.
Yeah.
You do notice that when you go through the fire escape, there's no alarm.
Mhm.
As you do so, the rain is coming down. Tell me high or low.
Low.
As still a light drizzle, you're out on this flat roof. You see, you hear the air conditions going and such on top of the roof. You hear all of these pigeons as you look up and see above you, underneath the awning, taking refuge from the rain, this score of pigeons. I don't know what a herd of pigeons is called. I'm calling them a score.
Flock.
A flock. Score sounds better though. A flock of pigeons. Half a flock is hanging out there as they look down at you with their pigeon eyes. And somehow it's almost like they know who you are. Maybe they're more intelligent than they should be as they move back and forth doing their pigeon thing. What are you doing on the roof?
I'm gonna find that fire escape and then go down the fire escape. Actually, I'm gonna hit the door really hard,
Uh-huh.
just to make a noise, and
Yep.
then run down the fire escape.
Do you keep the rock in the door?
Yeah, keep the rock in the door.
Okay. As you run over, you're looking around. Bid or throw down?
I'm gonna bid. Did we get our traits back from the thing or no?
No.
From the diner? No.
No.
I'm going to bid. Hardened.
Sure.
Because I've been around, and I feel like I know how fire escapes work.
As you
And
look
I
around
hope
on the roof for the fire escape,
Yeah.
you see, the big two wrought iron's probably not what it is, two steel rungs that go over the side of the building. You get to it, look down. It's, you're 5 and a half stories up. And it's just this metal rung that leads down an entire story with nothing but the fall into a shitty alleyway. Go ahead,
there's no
throw.
ladder.
Yeah, there's a ladder. It's just a
Okay.
rung. One of those horrific, terrifying theater ladders, and it's in rain.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, it's a little slick.
So go ahead and throw down, and
That is a grace.
yeah, grace or brawn, either one. The threshold
Yeah,
will be
grace.
1.
All right.
Critically failing this would be bad.
Yeah, I agree. And that's a D10. Oh no,
Yeah.
that's a D4.
Okay, so your action
that's
is
a D8.
D10 and your D4.
And a D10. That's one success.
Okay, you are at limbo.
Yeah. Persistent as my swagger.
Are you going to activate an ability?
Oh no, I
with
can
it?
re-roll. I can let me re-roll with a proficiency. Is that fine?
Okay. Yep.
And that would be movement.
Movement will work.
And I'm going to re-roll the D8. Nope.
Still at 1 success.
So, one success. It is a let's see. Can I do another? Can I do fabrication and pull my belt out and wrap it around the side of
Why not?
the ladder?
Yeah, that's a proficiency, so yeah, sure. As you get onto the rung, you use your fabrication as you whip out your belt like an action hero. Zing! Go ahead and reroll.
All right. This is getting a little scary. Okay, I succeeded.
So how many? 2 successes. As you get on the rung, quite immediately you feel the ladder give way. Hang, dang, 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 dang. As one of the rungs is rusted and just moves and does this number. As you kind of freak out a little bit, whip out your belt and lash it, and you hold on. Slowly move down off of this ladder, finally getting to the lower fire escape on the 5th floor. It's janky as hell still, but you're not on that ladder. You can bid or throw down to have your belt, to have been able to get it done.
Okay.
Otherwise you don't have the belt.
Yeah, I'll just throw down, I guess.
You could also spend a narrative point.
Oh, I I can. I have one more narrative point. Maybe after years of, I mean, Indiana Jones was out at this point in time.
Truth.
You know, and I know
you've done that.
Yeah. I
Yep,
totally
as
did.
you've done this.
It's a whip belt.
You have practiced this so many times. As you have your Indiana Jones moment.
I got my hat. I got
You get your hat out. The rain is hitting your bare chest for a second as the lightning strikes, and you get down onto the fire escape. Just as you hear the door to the roof, wham, slam against the wall. We'll say that with all this going on, you did not see who comes out because you're down on the fire escape already.
Sure. Is there a window or something I can enter?
You can attempt to enter someone's room, or you can go down the fire escape.
Yeah, I'll go down the fire escape.
All right, you go down the fire escape. You do notice that there are some doors, like a door at the center of the building to be able to get in, right? But they will all be locked. Tell me high or low.
High.
It is high. As you get to that first door, maybe the lock is broken. And you open it up. Oh my God. As you're on the 5th floor.
Oh, nice. I'm gonna run into the 5th floor and then back down the staircase.
As you open up the stairway, you can hear the rain coming in the roof door as the door is still open, and whoever is up there is still up there. The other person, you don't know where they are. As you go downstairs,
Yeah.
are you being
yeah.
quiet or are you being hurried?
I'm gonna be like nonchalant, like kind of my own
Your own man.
weird self, because I don't know what's going on.
You've got your belt wrapped around your hand right now. As you move down, which floor do you go to?
I'm gonna go to the 3rd floor.
Okay, you get to the 3rd floor. In Leah's room or in her apartment, what are you all doing?
At this point, I'd probably just be, watching, Simon, do his work. If he's not done already, that is.
Oh yeah.
At some point, I ask, where are we going to take this person?
What do you mean?
It's not my decision to make. I cannot help you get rid of it if you decide to get rid of it, but I can tell you how to do it.
I have no desire to get rid of him. He's going to get a proper burial and taken back to his family.
Are you going to call the cops in?
If necessary, but we need to figure out what all is going on, I guess, before then.
Hey, then I suggest we either leave the body here. When's your husband going to be home?
You hear the door open.
Well,
And then I'll look around the corner of the kitchen.
You see Nord walking in the apartment.
Get in here, but keep the camera in your bag, please.
Oh,
Oh,
I love taking photos. I'm gonna lock the doors behind me.
You do.
At the front door.
Nord, as you're entering the apartment, you hear this distant but kind of annoying. It's quiet. This is kind of annoying buzzing sound. It sounds like a.
Where have you
I'm
been?
gonna shut the door quietly and lock it. I think we got company, guys. These, I don't know if they know where you live, but they certainly followed me up to the roof. You guys figure out what's going on in here? What's going on in here?
You
I
see
think we should
blood
probably shut off
everywhere.
the lights. Wow. Let's turn off the lights. Maybe lay low for a minute. Clean this up. If you want to stay living here. I mean, you don't have to live here. I think that vans are a really... Well, you have kids, so you probably don't want to live in a van. So, yeah.
To answer your question, Simon, you should be home in a couple hours.
I start turning off lights.
Ember
Whoa.
says a group of pigeons is a flock, but a fancy name for them is a columbidae. And someone left their vibrator on the floor. Indeed.
Oh, that might actually just be my fan, possibly.
No. Never mind.
That's funny.
Well, if we're going to, we probably need to get out of here. Then, if you're going to call the cops eventually, we don't want to disturb the body anymore. Do we need to take Mariah with us? Because you don't want to leave her in this apartment with a dead body.
And she'll probably
That's-
talk.
Are you sure you're a border guard? Are you
Listen,
sure you're
Bree.
not a stabby guy from the plains or something?
Listen, they talk. Daddy's got the green stuff in his trunk. I open the trunk. There it is. It's happened before.
Good.
It's all in a day's work for being a border guard.
I'm gonna get a beer after this.
Well,
You're all standing around this dead guy in Leah's kitchen. Blood is everywhere. There's blood on your shoes. It's not as bad, but it's like stepping in gum.
I'm gonna have to wash this stuff before I go into work.
I would have made caution to not step in as much of it, like to try and stay out of it, to not disturb the crime scene.
You've been detective, so that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay.
Also, I will say, I saw him stand up on his own long after he was already dead.
All of the lights go out. Only the TV is on, as it is white noise. The volume is as loud as it'll go.
Is Mariah up?
You can barely hear each other. As it's like the power's been cut or something. Except the TV's still on.
Is Mariah awake?
I
I'm
don't.
gonna.
Now I'll go over to the TV and basically unplug it.
You do. As it goes off.
I'll go check her. And then I'll go into her room.
You do. She is asleep.
I guess she got exhausted.
Oh,
we should probably get out of here, or clean up this mess. I don't know.
sorry.
Is
Is there
when
another
I-
way?
It's incredibly dark in here. There's a little bit of light coming through the windows in Mariah's room and the living room, but the kitchen is almost pitch black.
Simon's got a point. If the cops are going to show up, they're going to show up. I'm guessing, since he's got his ID and everything, his store, he's going to check out, and they're not going to question Leah too much when she tells him she knows the person. But does she really want? Do you want to divulge that to the police?
I mean, It wouldn't take them much it wouldn't take much effort to find that out anyway.
As you guys are talking, you're talking in near complete darkness.
I'll go look at the light switch and see if it's something wrong with it.
As you click it up and down, it does not turn on.
Hold
Nord,
on, let me go check the breakers.
as you go to the back
Yeah.
room, stumbling around as you do. Nord, you're next to the door, or have you sat down, or what?
I didn't sit down. I'm probably just like, trying to figure out what I want to do next. Like, I got a flight or flight thing going on, maybe a little bit. Like, I don't know these people. I don't want to get like necessarily,
Where are you in the room?
I do when I saw a glimpse of those people. Did they look like police or did they look like just guys?
They look like nondescript men in trench coats and hats.
I probably not too terribly far away from the front door. I didn't.
You hear,
Or yeah.
you hear that buzzing sound. Stop. A few moments later, ding, 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 of a distant elevator opening down the hallway.
I encourage everyone. I'm like, just be quiet. Just be quiet for a minute.
Nord, you are straining to hear as you hear distant footfalls on the carpet heading this way.
Just kind of wait for it.
Simon, something
yeah.
grabs your ankle.
I will kick at it,
And then let's go as you kick.
yeah, and I'll pull out my gun and go. I'm gonna go next to the door by Nord and be like,
He can't see you.
I'm gonna be like, are they? I'll go up to him and I'll push him away from the door and put myself basically in front of him with my gun out.
Okay. you do that.
Nord and Leah, you're in the back. Or no, you've gone. You've gone to the back where the breakers are, and you're chink chink, chink chink. You flip them all. Nothing happens. Nord, you and Tony are in the main living room, with Simon. Simon's at the door now. You two can bid or throw down to notice something. Simon, you can bid or throw down to listen at the door.
I'm gonna bid vagabond maybe.
Yep.
I'm gonna bid guarded.
What about you, Tony? Are you going to bid or throw down?
No,
To
I'm
notice
gonna
something?
pass.
Yep. As you're just standing in the darkness of the room next to the television, Simon, you hear the footfalls, probably a pair of people, walking closer and closer to this room. Determined, not quickly, but steadfast, as though they know where they're going. Nord, as you bid vagabond, and you're standing next to Simon, you can see the silhouette of Leah down the little hallway as she's messing ching 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 with the breaker box, and you can see a clearer but still dark silhouette of Tony standing in front of the television. As you see another silhouette come from the kitchen, and you hear this shuffling and a peeling, like a saran wrap being peeled off of a linoleum floor.
That's disturbing. I'm gonna kind of find a back corner.
Simon, you feel Nord push past you into the corner, the door jam.
No, I mean like a back corner away from the door, like just away, maybe stealthily to another part of the room, because I feel like shit might go down any second.
As you move the same direction as Leah and Mariah's room, because those are the only other places to go.
Yeah, that's it. That's where I want to go.
As Leah, Nord appears behind you and is like pushing up against you.
I think
What are
something's
you
happening.
doing?
Somebody's coming. Something's happening.
Tony, you're standing at the television, oblivious. Simon, what are you doing?
That's me want to go down the fire escape. I don't know what these guys are coming straight here.
Tony, you get to make a reaction roll. This is your action die and your grace or brawn. As two hands, cold to the touch, like Korean chop style, come down on your shoulders and grab you.
So if a grace is 3, that's a D10?
That's a D6.
D6, okay.
Yeah. Whatever the rank is times 2, that's your die type.
All right, got it. There we go.
Threshold is 5.
Oh,
Dang.
Sorry, 4. Okay. Do you bid? Do you activate an ability, or do you bid ninja gear, or do you do any proficiencies? You can also spend a point of breath to immediately go to limbo, or you could spend a point of cunning to go at the same time as this. But this attack is coming.
I'm gonna bid knife.
You gonna bid your knife?
Yes,
All
I
right.
am.
Does your knife have any traits on it?
It's a switchblade that I can whip out. Well, no, I wouldn't say that. No, it's a pretty substantial knife that I kind of use at work.
I mean, is it like a
really
knife?
nice knife.
Not
Is
quite
it like
that
a knife? Is it a knife or is it a knife?
little in between.
So like a butcher's knife?
No, a
Is it- does it-
little
does it-
large.
Does it close?
Yes.
Or do you have it in like a little scabbard
I'll say the scabbard.
or sheath, I should say?
Jeez.
Okay, as Tony whips by this knife, so it's still a light weapon. Actually, we'll call it a medium weapon, but it's still a D4. So you have a D4 extra die. You can roll that alongside.
Do I roll everything again?
No. If you want to re-roll, you have to spend proficiencies.
Oh,
By you bidding ninja gear, that gives you an extra die.
so I still have 0 successes.
Okay.
Huh?
As you grab your knife, ready, but you're grabbed from behind. So we are in rounds at this point. Tony, these hands lay down on your shoulders as world action. So this is just happening. The television turns on and it's singing, it's this Pavarotti opera that goes between this aria that's blaring and blipping to white noise. As in the room, it's like a strobe light. Like, as Simon, you turn and look, and you see, it looks like Tony is popping and locking as he's like over next to the television. And the bad guy goes. Now, as we haven't really done rounds yet, the way that rounds work, you've got the world action, which is stuff that happens, and you can't interrupt. Then you have the bad guys. and then you have the players. If you spend a point of cunning, you go before or at the same time as the bad guys. So you could say world action, cunning action, bad guys, players. If you spend cunning, you get 2 turns in a round, but you only have so much cunning. The way you get it back, and the way you get that breath as well, is by getting your minor and major goals. So, does anyone spend cunning?
I'll spend cunning.
Anyone else?
I'm going to, I want to basically wait to see if these guys come through the door and then get them, so I wouldn't spend cunning, correct?
It's up to you.
Well, I mean, I will spend cunning as well, but it's a held action to see if these 2 guys come through the door.
Sure, so it'll just give you priority.
Right, okay.
Yep. Anyone else? Okay, so you both have spent cunning. What do you do? Simon, you're waiting to see if these guys come through. What are you doing, Leah?
Seeing that Tony, can I see that Tony sort of?
No,
Well,
you're around the corner with
Okay.
Nord. You do see the flickering of the TV, like strobe light, and you can see Simon preparing his gun at the door. You see a shadow. You see 2 shadows. It looks like they're dancing on the wall, and it's really loud and intermittent Pavarotti, like going and such.
So I'll definitely go around I'll start heading that way because I know I unplugged the TV, so something's not right.
As you whip around the corner, you see, it's very difficult to see. It's like in a strobe light. Tony doing this pop lock thing as he turns, and you see Clois, like struggling with him. As Clois looks up, his hair, very The Ring style, all around his eyes burn this violent blue. You can make a sanity roll.
And what's sanity?
Sanity roll is your action die and your mind die. The threshold for this is 3. If you fail, you take a flaw and a derangement. If you pass, you just take the flaw. Which is, a flaw is a trait which you can use.
So, I got 2 successes. I will re-roll. Would expression work for that as a proficiency?
Yeah.
Now, do I re-roll both or one?
Just one of the die.
Okay, that's a 10. So,
Nice.
So that is 3.
Okay, so you're at limbo. And because you got 10, you have flare. So you recover an exhausted trait or proficiency.
Okay.
So you're at limbo. This is what will happen. You take a flaw, mark on your sheet a little asterisk or something, and make sure it's a flaw. You can decide what it is. So you all know the difference between a trait and a flaw is the arbiter can bid your flaws for you, and they're not exhausted. So that's how it works. But otherwise, you can bid them.
So I'll just tell you, because obviously you can bid it too. I'll tell you, I'm gonna call it scene shit.
I dig it. You won't get a derangement because you did get a dirty success. But
Yeah.
the limbo part will be you are frightened.
Gotcha.
This doesn't mean that you lose your action or anything. It just means that it colors what happens at this point. You're seeing a zombie. Pretty clear. This is the second time it's happened. It's not a trick of the eye. The undead are in your house. What the fuck is going on? Some sort of curse? Who knows? A flood of mythos from your childhood blows up your mind.
Okay.
and clouds your actions. The mechanical idea is it makes things more difficult. What do you do?
Gotcha.
It's still your turn.
Ooh, okay, it's my turn. I will probably sort of lower my gun, and I'll also myself be sort of shocked for a minute because I actually had to go to the bathroom. But so I'll just sort of let my turn go over essentially to my second turn this round.
Does Leah use the bathroom?
No, no.
I am going to say that I switched, since I'm letting the guys come in, I switched from my gun to my slapjack.
Yep. As you break out your slapjack, you're pretty intent on the door, and you're really not paying attention to what's going on around you otherwise. Okay. The bad guys go. Tony, as you failed this attack, this shadow in front of you, this mysterious person with horrible sea breath, it smells like brine and dead fish, grabs you, lifts you up over its head, and starts marching toward the window and throws you through it. How many successes did you get?
0.
You got good. 4. Okay, so that'd be. You take 6 points of damage as you are thrown through plate glass, and you're cut up. You land. Oh wait, the fire escape's over there. We'll see if you grab the fire escape. You can bid or throw down to grab onto the fire escape or fall 3 stories.
Yeah, I will try to grab onto the fire escape.
All right. You bid or do you throw down?
I will bid hardened.
All right. Describe how this happens.
He tries to throw me out.
He does throw you out.
He threw me out, right? But it's a very dark night, and the fire escape is painted black on this particular building, so he doesn't really see it. And I hit it, and I wish there was something heroic or performative that I did, but no. One of the supports that was running up the fire escape kind of catches me. Probably, yeah, and I am stopped from falling off.
Yep. As your ribs are bruised, as it catches you right there, bang in the armpit, and you're hanging with glass in this side of your arm and maybe a couple in your back, like little shards stuck. They're not too deep because you have on like a jacket or something, right?
Oh, I'm so high. I have a jacket on, and I'm so hyped up with adrenaline right now. I got other things to worry about.
Yeah, we'll say you just have a couple pieces of glass in your arm as you're hanging precariously on this fire escape. As you look up, adrenaline filled, and you see this lumbering thing cloaked in shadow with dregs for hair. As lightning again strikes, you see this man who was formerly dead on the kitchen floor. As he turns, like a barn door swings towards Simon's back. Tony, you can make a sanity roll.
Yes, I will, and that is action dice.
Action die and mind die.
All right. Two successes.
Nice. As this will take you to limbo, you gain a flaw, put a little asterisk, and you can decide what this flaw is, as you were filled with terror. Player turn. Before that happens, sorry. Simon. The footfalls stop at the door. Tell me high or low.
Low.
That is a 12. You can do a proficiency to have it re-rolled if you
No,
wish.
I'm fine.
Okay. They are banging on your door.
Uh,
Not
Uh,
twelve.
I would be waiting until I hear the glass break.
The glass breaks.
So I will turn around to see what's going on that area where the glass breaks.
You see when the glass breaks. You see Timon. You see Tony. Jesus. I can't- It's you and another player just
Yeah.
always.
Mhm.
You see Tony's ass, his lily white ass, thrown out the window. And there's this hulking, he looks like the Undertaker from behind, standing there as it turns. And this silhouette of a ruffian, a brigand in this leather jacket and stringy hair coming down. You can't see his face or any of his features. You do see Leah back against the wall with her gun shaking, and
Okay. Can I run up and use my slapjack on him, or
yeah, you did cunning. You did
Yeah.
cunning, so you can do that.
Okay.
As you run up,
and I'll running and
Alright.
hit him with my slapjack.
what do you bid to do this?
Okay. I'm gonna bid cop because I'm used to using my slapjack as a cop. I don't want to quit doing that.
You bid cop to beat people. Okay.
Well, I mean, I've used my slapjack as a cop.
Yep, I feel it. As you run up, you're like, I was a cop once. And you slapjack. Go ahead and throw down.
Okay.
The threshold to hit the lumbering dude is 2.
Okay. So I would use my action dice and my brawn, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Or grace, either one.
I only got one success. You said the threshold is 2.
Yep.
So I can bend my slapjack, and that will add.
Does it have any traits?
Yes, it has stunning on it.
Okay, so that means that it does a d6 extra die.
Yeah.
So it'll give you an extra die of a d6 to roll as well.
Okay,
And
so
if you have
that's two successes.
So you're at limbo, which if you're at limbo when you're dealing damage, it means that it does half damage, rounded up.
Okay. And I'm gonna use a proficiency of violence to re-roll the d8. Okay, so it's limbo. 2 successes.
Remember, if you have any abilities, you could bid to activate them, and they could give you bonuses.
I'll bid Master at Arms. Well, I have to bid something else to.
No, you can
activate
bid it. You can bid itself to activate
Okay.
itself. What's the upgrade you have on it?
Just 1, so that's a d4.
Oh. No. Oh, it gives you an extra die, right? Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Still at limbo.
All right. as you smack this dude in the face with your slapjack, roll your damage.
4 on damage, of course. On damage, I get the 4. But
All right. So you got a 4 on damage. It's limbo, so you deal him 2 damage. As you smack him across the face, you see his jaw dislocate, and he looks at you without any emotion whatsoever. His jaw just slacking, and his tongue falls out of his mouth. Oh, way too long. Like its tongue is like wax. What are your flaws?
my flaws are calloused and stubborn.
I'm gonna bid stubborn for you. This guy clearly is on like PCP. He wasn't dead.
Yeah.
He should be, but the drugs are keeping him up or something. Maybe you were wrong about the rigor mortis. You really didn't touch him. Okay, it is now the player turn. So you guys decide when you go, but it is all of your turns.
I am pop the flash. on
Are
my
you guys
camera.
okay with me going?
Or is it? Yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. You had your cunning. That's my bad.
I didn't have cunning.
No. Leah had spent cunning. Leah, what do you do with that cunning point?
So at this point, I'm gonna say, my brain, I recovered enough, and I will, basically, put my pistol at my friend's head, and, how close am I?
You're across the room.
Okay. Well, either way, I'll go ahead and, basically point my pistol at his head and pull the trigger.
I'm gonna say, since this has happened later in the narrative, you are acting with your cunning, but all of what has transpired already.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, all right, go ahead and throw down. You have to bid to do this.
Right. I'll bid. Since I recovered it before, I'll go ahead and bid soldier again.
Okay.
And then And what did you say the pistol was, damage-wise?
It's a 9mm, so it is 2d4 plus 1.
Okay.
Nord, you see Leah back against the wall, dropping her pistol for a second, before then raising it, racking it, and fire. It is loud, even over Pavarotti. Simon, you smack this dude in the face. You see what you saw, and that's when, out the corner of your eye, you see Leah holding a gun toward him, which is towards you, because you're right next to him, and kind of in front of him too. As she fires, Tony, you see Leah pointing a gun directly at you. This guy is between you and him, or you and her, but she fires. What'd you get on your throw down?
Okay.
The threshold for
So
this. The threshold for this.
Do I use?
Go on.
Okay. So I'm using my action die and then the 2d4.
No.
Or how does it work for when I'm trying?
Right.
Front
So
ahead.
your 2d4 plus 1, that is the damage if you deal damage.
Okay.
To make the attack, you do your action die, which is a d10,
Okay.
and your grace.
Okay.
The threshold is 3. The reason for that is you've got someone in front of you.
So I'm actually going to also bid time served and then activate my ability Master at Arms,
Nice.
which I put 2 upgrades on, so that gives me 2 automatic successes. And then, so I got a 9 and a 3, so that is a total of 4 successes.
Blammo! Roll your 2d4 plus 1. And because you beat it by 1, you get an extra point of damage.
Okay.
So that's
So
2d4 plus 2.
that'll be a total It'll be a total of 6 damage.
Is that with the 2d4 plus 2?
Yes. So yeah, it was 2. It was 2 on each of the die 4, and then plus 2.
Yep, awesome. As the bullet fires, just for a moment, everyone's ears are ringing because you're fighting indoors. You see this guy get shot, perhaps in the head. Leah, you aimed for like right there. As you see his head whip back, as he stumbles back away from Simon, hits the window as his feet. Tony, you see him fall. Neck first. Onto Simon. High or low?
Low.
No.
Nord, high or low?
Hi.
Lucky sacks of shit. As he falls in between your two cars. Player turn.
I go up.
Well,
All of your actions.
I
climb
was
up.
gonna take a photo of the action that happened, but I missed it,
You missed it.
which is life. I got my flash on my camera though.
Yeah, you You guys decide who goes first.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm gonna climb up, because I'm hanging on a ledge. I'm gonna try and climb up anyways. That's gonna be the first thing.
All right, what do you bid? What are the rest of you doing? Are you talking to each other? Are you coordinating? What are you doing?
I'm
I
going
think
to
we should
say,
leave.
I'm going to say, go down the fire escape. I'll go. I'll
the
be the
door.
last down, and I'll head towards the door to let them get out.
Go
You
down the fire escape.
That's what I said. Yeah.
All right.
you hear people kicking at the door. Who's in there? Open the door.
Is the
At
is,
this point, go ahead.
is the TV still on?
Oh yeah, it's blaring Pavarotti and strobe lighting. It's really
I'm gonna
hard to tell
take
where
a-
you are.
I'm gonna take a picture of the TV and try and expose it correctly, and hit record on my tape recorder. As I'm
What do you bid?
I'm gonna bid shooter.
Okay, as you
camera.
you do, mark it down on your sheet that you have that photo
All right, cool.
and that recording. Leah,
Leah honestly is still pretty traumatized at this point, so the fact that the music just isn't stopping, she'll probably just particularly with the pistol already in her hand, she'll probably just kind of react and just like point the gun at the TV and pull the trigger again.
what do you bid?
Let's see. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and bid my own flaw this time and scene shit.
Yeah, as we'll say that you unload, since it's a flaw, you unload 2 rounds. So of that mag of 9, you're down 3. As you see Leah fire twice at the TV. Leah, we're gonna have a fate roll. Okay, who's fortune? Who's false fortune?
I'll be fortune.
I'll be false fortune.
All right. False
that a
fortune
D-
wins. It's a D100, but we'll do stakes first. If false fortune wins, as Leah is shooting at the television twice, and on the other side of that wall is Mariah's room. Mariah gets shot,
Shit.
and she will take the damage as you roll it. Fortune, she doesn't get shot. Limbo, you probably get a flaw for realizing what has just happened. All
Gotcha.
right. Do it.
Uh-oh.
This is a trigger warning for everyone. No pun intended.
That's a 35.
I rolled a 19.
Ooh.
The gods are with you. As boom, 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 as you do twice, and you're gonna shoot the television a third time as you realize what you're doing. All right.
Oh shit. Does the TV actually go off at this point?
Oh yeah. The TV explodes. Like it actually,
You
like
voided the
1980s.
warranty, too.
Like in 1980s, it's like sparks and shit. Highlander lightning.
I don't know that you want to take that back to Sears.
You'll get a pit for that, fucker. All right, who hasn't gone? And you still have stuff to do.
And basically at that point, I'll run into Maria's room to make sure she's okay.
You notice as you get in there, she is sound asleep.
This girl is crazy.
Nord, get to the fire escape.
Nord is hanging out next to the fuse box. Oh, no, he's not. You're in the main room taking pictures. Shh.
Now's not the time.
All right. Time to go, I guess.
Once they get on the fire escape, I will then follow them down, unless the door bursts open.
Okay, so this is player turn. Nord used his turn to take those pictures. As Nord, you're getting to the window. Leah is with Mariah in her room because she's taking her actions. Tony is on the fire escape. Simon, where are you in the room?
I went back by the door in case those guys come in.
You're at the door. Do you do anything? Because you've just talked and stuff. You still have an action if you want to do something. Remember, on your turn, when you're bidding, you're literally trying to change the narrative in your favor.
I'm going to grab a chair and wedge it under the doorknob.
You find a chair?
Yeah.
What do you bid to do this?
Streets, which is my background.
You've had to do this before.
Yep.
As you pull over one of these chairs, you see it like a little desk. As you see the door starting to splinter as they're kicking it. All right, world action. The two individuals are just slamming, like crow kicking. This is Sparta style. The door. It's starting to splinter. And will break down very soon. You hear, now that there's no Pavarotti going on, although your ears are still ringing, you hear the neighbors around you all waking up, people screaming, "Was that a gunshot? Oh, God, call the cops!" Whoa! Shit's going on. Outside, rain, thunder, lightning. Cunning round. Does anyone drop cunning? If you don't, the bad guys go.
Yeah, I think I'll drop cunning on this one.
I'll drop cunning.
Whatever, I'll do it.
All right.
Okay. I will drop cunning as well, so everybody's dropping it.
All right. What do you all do? Remember, it's up to you who goes first. You can talk. You can do a lot on your action with a bid. You can do many things, but there's one idea that's that bid.
So we've got a monstrosity that landed head first on the ground. I'm thinking maybe we should get the hell out of here.
Leah will basically pick up Maria and start, going out the window.
What do you
her.
bid to get that done?
steadfast. Yeah.
All right. Steadfast, you mom arm it. She is still asleep. She kind of murmurs, "Mom, what are you doing?" She's completely out of it. As you get to the window, it's all broken and destroyed. You grab onto the fire escape, and you get on the fire escape, bidding steadfast. What about the rest of you?
I'm gonna support Lee in helping her with. Is it Miranda? Mariah?
Mariah.
Maria.
Mariah.
Maria.
It goes back and forth.
Maria.
Okay.
Yeah, Maria.
What do you bid to do that?
I bid. I don't know. It worked in the past.
As you go up and you kind of like put your hands on her back and like push her, Leah, you feel this push. It's actually very helpful. It makes it very easy to get onto from the window over the rail onto the fire escape. Nord,
I've definitely helped people through tough situations traveling
Yeah.
the world. You know.
as maybe in communist country, you've jumped out a window before. As you have one of your feet, one of your legs up on the window, maybe your other one on the sofa. Do you go out the window yourself, or do you stay in there with Simon?
I'm gonna go out the window.
All right. As you're all on the fire escape except for Simon. Simon, what are you doing?
Once everybody's there, then I will make my way to the fire escape.
All right. What
Then
do
I
you
was
bid to
waiting.
get?
Calculating is my nature.
Yep. You wait till everyone's gone. We'll say with calculating, do you grab anything from the apartment before you go?
I don't think so, because everything, we checked the body, so it's all good there. There wasn't. I don't need her D&D book.
Who needs D&D anyway?
Yeah. So I don't
Alright.
think that there's anything for me to grab before going out.
Tony, what are you
Everything
doing?
we already got.
I'm gonna go down and check out the body.
Okay. What do you bid to get down there quick? Because you're on the third floor.
I bid gravity.
Do you jump?
No, I'm not. I don't know that I can bid anything.
I might make you bid gravity. What do you bid? You can also, actually, you have to bid something. You don't have to. You can just throw down without bidding. It's just you can only get one success on any die.
I'm gonna bid local.
Okay, tell me how that works.
I've been around here my whole life, so I've been on these fire escapes before. Exact same design.
All right, as you walk down, it's like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You jump on one as it cantilevers up, and as you get down to the ground, there is a little bit of a jump as you land kind of hard in some trash and walk over to where the body is.
Do I see
It's
anyone
there.
else around?
No, it's 1 a.m. at this point. And it's raining outside. Everybody's gone inside. Although you can look up and see there are lights coming on because shots have been fired. You notice, actually that's what you'll notice, as your action was to get to this body. You get down to the body and you see the head is at a weird angle, the neck obviously broken, and as the body jackknifed into the curb, and it's just sprawled out. The eyes are open. There's a dead man staring at you. There's not much blood at all.
I'll wait for the others to get down.
All right. The bad guys go. The door breaks in, but there's a chair there holding it just enough. as you hear more kicking, you hear shouting, very throaty, "Get back in there! This is a crime scene!" Ah! Tons of yelling. As you all get down the fire escape, assuming you're all going down the fire escape.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, absolutely.
so are we getting in our cars and leaving, or are we doing something else?
I want to take a photo real
I'm getting
quick.
GTFO.
Okay.
I'm telling everyone to rush to the cars.
Okay, so this is world action. How we're going to do this, basically you all have time for an action before the bad guys can go again. So take your actions. Nord, what do you bid to take your photo? What are the rest of you doing?
I'll bid my lens kit.
Okay. As you take photos, we'll say you take 2 or 3 of each one of these, ding, 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 of this body. What are the rest of you doing?
I'm going to his
I'd
van.
go ahead and get back in Simon's car and secure Maria.
Okay, Simon, I'm assuming you're unlocking the car. They're all
I'm
getting in. Tony, the van is locked, unless Nord kept it unlocked.
It's the 80s. I think people keep it locked.
All right. As
Oh,
Tony,
what's up, man?
as Tony, you got to sit there for a moment as you hear the banging. You hear the door break down. People spilling into that apartment up top, and looking around. Flashlights and stuff all over the place. As Nord is taking pictures, Nord, you hear Tony like jittering there as you get over to the truck or over to the van, start it. You guys peel off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
drive right
Nord.
over the dude.
Do
Make
you?
sure he's dead.
Nord, tell
No.
me high or low.
No, I'm not gonna do that.
Yes, tell me high or low. Anyway.
Hi.
That is high. Your van does not backfire. Okay. As you go down the street, hang a left, and head toward the Jefferson corridor. And that is where we're going to end.
Oh yeah.
Did anyone complete any minor or major goals?
I think I wrote. Go ahead.
I put work for Idaway as my minor goal, but I don't know if that counts or not.
Yeah, you got that.
Okay.
Okay, so I need one person who will be clerical enough to do this. One person, or all of you can, actually, but it's specifically one person, needs to keep track of your group goals. Who wants to do it?
So I am creating a series of text documents that will be shared among us to make it easier for us to actually keep track of what we did and all the NPCs that we encountered. So
We need to make a wiki. That'd be awesome.
well, I'm working on that, but I think eventually I'll have something like that ready. But for now, I think the best thing is to just create a series of text files. And I'm gonna have a template for like an NPC, a place, a scene, and I would like for people to just sort of fill in with the notes that they've been taking.
Cool.
And we can all do it. So I will create an extra place for that and just track the group goals.
Okay, so you're going to track it. So mark this down right now. Okay, so the way that the group goals work, it doesn't matter if it's a major or minor goal. You just put one tally. When that gets to 12, everyone advances. Okay? So the idea is, let's say you get to a point where you're only pursuing Leah's goals. That's fine, because so as she's getting goals, you're all going to advance when the group advances. Okay? So, yeah. So who got a goal? Drizzle got one, so that's one. Anyone else? Okay. Drizzle, this is what that does. On a minor goal, you get a pip, you get 1 XP, and you get back 1 breath and 1 cunning. So if you look at your character sheet, pretty much the entire bottom, you get something. You get one of each, basically.
Okay. Yeah, cunning, breath, and pips and experience. Okay.
Now, when your experience goes to 3, cash those. Now you have 1 advancement. You can advance during a montage.
Okay.
Okay. Typical rule for advancement. Let's say you had 3 that are banked, which you really shouldn't bank stuff, but let's say you do. You cannot go from like, I have an ability, upgrade, upgrade. You can't do that in one sitting. You got to have 3 different montages to do that. But if you had 3 advancements, you could get this ability, add this upgrade to this other ability, and get a proficiency. You could do that.
No.
Typically, you want to advance in things that you have done in the game. Okay. On a major goal, you get 2 XP. You get all of your cunning back, all of your breath back. You get 1 pip, and everyone else gets a pip as well. So major goals are good for everybody. All right. Any questions?
Will you have sometime later this week? I've got some stuff related to my character I would like to discuss with you.
Yes.
Okay. And I'll grant everyone access probably tomorrow to some text documents that I would actually hope that you all would significantly add stuff to.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that'll be cool. Are we good for next Monday? Is everyone okay with that?
Actually, I can't think of a reason I wouldn't be.
I am driving from North Carolina to Lexington, so hopefully we'll be down. I have all intentions in the world to be there.
Yep. In the event you are going to be late, just let me know. That way I can, because we'll postpone the game, obviously, because you're streaming it. If you can't be there, then we will probably move the day.
Yeah. Well, I should be there. The plan is to leave in the morning. It's a 5-hour drive, so I should be there.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll discuss all that later this week. You can go ahead and stop the stream after we all say goodbye. Everybody say bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Ember.
Bye.
Thank you, Ember, for showing up. Thank you, Lil Gotham, for showing up. And anyone else who is lurking, thanks. Next time, chat with us so we know that you're there. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.